Adelphi Racing Club, offering a truly personal racing experience. Looking to own thoroughbred racehorses and win at the highest level circuits? We're not just a syndicate, and our members aren't just investors. We are partners. Experience the Adelphi difference. Join the club today. Contact us to get a taste of the Adelphi experience and come hang with us this Saratoga meet.
Hello and welcome to episode 171 of the HHH Racing Podcast. We are live at the Crazy Pour OTB in Villa Park, Illinois. Welcome to the show, everyone. I am your host, Howard Kravitz. We greatly appreciate you joining the show today. I am along with our special guest I'm going to bring on. Let's have a nice big round of applause for our 2021 BCBC champ and winner of over $500,000 last November, Mr. Matt Miller. How are you doing today?
Thanks, everybody. Hi, everybody. All good?
Matt, it's great to have you here. We have an incredible show. We want to thank, of course, the Hawthorne race course, along also with the Adelphi Racing Club. This is a very special opportunity for us to be live here at the Crazy Pour OTB in Villa Park, Illinois. We got a lot of people, of course, watching right now on YouTube. We've got Vale Place, of course. Yes, Vale Place, we hit with that number 4, Noble Emotion. Vale Place, let me tell you, that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've had a crazy good day already. We have Katie is here. Katie, thank you very much. We got a lot of people. If you are watching live on YouTube, please make sure you comment in the live chat. Any questions, comments, concerns that you have about any of the races coming up on a fantastic Travers Day card. Just so everyone sees, you're going to see what it looks like right now. We're going to get another view here. There's what it looks like. There's the view in the Crazy Pour OTB. We have Kyle Roscoe here, sort of filming. Everyone can look around. Here we are. You can see us at the bottom of the screen. We're waving. Hello, everyone. We got a nice crowd. We also have many other people that are here as well that are not in the room that will be coming in shortly. Matt, let's have you introduce yourself first. Again, Matt was the winner of the 2021 Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge. Matt, welcome back to the show. And what I understand, you've already had a pretty good day as well, right?
It was a good day, and this is not a paid promotion for Howard's blog by any stretch, but I am a subscriber. I took a look at the picks right away and had a nice score right away. If you've looked at his blog, he had the 6-horse. I think it was the 3rd race at Saratoga, and quite literally before even getting in the car to be here, we already had a nice score on the day. So it's going to be a winning day regardless, but we got some good picks for you for the remainder.
Terrific. We want to let everyone know also that's in the room watching. Of course, you at home do not know, but we have live bets. We have $1,000 of live bets that we're going to make for our pool party here at the Crazy Pour OTB. Our picks are on the back there for those of you in the room. Those are our picks just for race 8. We have some pick 4s that we're starting. We also have some vertical exactas and a win bet on the 9 as well, as there's 16 minutes to post to race 8. That is the H. Allen Jerkins with the amazing number 6, Jack Christopher, at 3 to 5. For those of you that are in the room right now that are not familiar with myself, I started this podcast a year and a half ago. We've had a lot of success. We have over 150,000 views right now on YouTube. We really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. All you have to do is go to the YouTube channel, and on the bottom right-hand side, you can just click that subscribe button. So please make sure on the bottom right-hand side of the screen, you hit that subscribe button. We'd greatly appreciate it. Also hit that notification bell. That'll tell you when new content will rise on our show. We have live shows on Thursday nights, also on Tuesday nights, and obviously sometimes on the weekend as well. And then also smash that like button, smash that thumbs up button. That'll tell YouTube this is a great show, and we will have many people watching. Before we get into our handicapping, ladies and gentlemen, of race 8, the H. Allen Jerkins, I want to remind everyone there's a big Hawthorne contest September 30th and October 1st. There's over $10,000, in prizes, including an NHC entry. There's also a $1 million bonus if you win the 2023 NHC along with this contest. It's a $500 live bankroll tournament with multiple tracks and multiple wagering options. Big bankroll wins, no entry fee. It's just $500 live bankroll. Please register at HawthorneRacecourse.com. Again, that's one word, HawthorneRacecourse.com to enter that contest on September 30th and October 1st as well. It's an excellent contest. So, Matt, we're going to be bringing on the PPs here in just a minute, as we have to make sure we get those on the screen. In fact, we might not be able to do that for the first race. We might have to just be able to talk through the PPs a little bit. Let's talk about race 8. We will be showing PPs past performances on the screen. I'm not sure we're going to be doing it before this race, but we will be doing it for many of the races. Of course, this is race 8 is the H. Allen Jerkins. It's the best 3-year-old sprint race in the country. It's restricted for 3-year-olds. It's 7 furlongs with a fantastic purse. We've got an unbelievable horse, number 6, Jack Christopher, who right now on the board is 3-5. And Matt, as I go ahead and bring up the PPs and do a few things, what's your early impressions of race 8? We've already seen a big favorite lose today in Jackie's Warrior. Will another Jack go down today, in this case, in the H. Allen Jerkins?
I don't think so in this race. So we can look at all the replays, and maybe looking at the replays will help us figure out who's coming in second or third. But in my opinion, I don't think this is even a close call, and I think 3-5 is an absolute bargain.
Yeah, listen, I am going to try to beat Jack Christopher. I am very interested. And those people that are in the room right now can tell by looking at the board in the back there. I'm very interested in the 9 accreditive. The 9 accreditive is a very lightly raced Chad Brown horse. Currently, the 9 is 6-1. Matt, I am salivating. That is juicy. I cannot believe this horse is 6-1. He ran very well last time, a close second to Gunite, the 8 horse, but that was only his second lifetime start, Matt. Only his second lifetime start. Got a 101 buyer, ladies and gentlemen. Was a bit green in the stretch. I thought he was going to go by Gunite. I love the outside post. I think he's going to do a great trip. I think he's got a big shot. What are your opinions in general about accreditive here, Matt, the 9 for Chad Brown?
I think he's got a terrific chance for second place.
Wow. That's firing.
Yeah, honestly, I think Jack Christopher is in a completely different league than the rest of these horses. My guess is for the last 15 seconds of this race, it is just going to be a scramble to figure out who's getting second. And I agree with you. I do think this horse, the 9, looks terrific. I just don't think it belongs in the same race. I think we're talking about 2 totally different classes.
Yeah, listen, Jack Christopher is very good. Now, Jack Christopher, of course, we all know what he's done. Last time, as we all know, he went to the Haskell. A mile and 1/8 is just too far. This is a 1-turn horse. He's been unbelievable around 1 turn. His effort in the Woody Stevens 2-back when he had a 107 buyer was completely off the charts. But you know what, Matt, here's my feeling. I think this is a very difficult race. You have Conager breaking from the rail, who's got speed. Howling Time, who I wish was in the race, was scratched. The 3 is scratched. The number 4, Actuator, is a nice horse. There's also speed, of course, from Gunite, the 8. So, Matt, I think there's a lot of speed in this race. I don't believe that Jack Christopher has to win this race. And for those of you that are watching, of course, on YouTube, everyone in the pool party here at the Crazy Pour OTB, we are hoping for either a 6-9 exacta or a 9-6 exacta. We also have a win bet on the 9. We also have some pick fours that we're playing here, Matt, at the Crazy Pour OTB. We talked a lot about pick four strategy. There are some big favorites, Matt, in this pick four. Now, you are a money management expert. That's part of the reason why you cashed for over $500,000 in November. What do you do when you have a lot of potential favorites and winners with Jack Christopher? You also have a small field in the next race in the personal Ensign, and then, of course, Epicenter. So from a money management standpoint, what would you recommend to players with this pick four that starts here in race 8?
Yeah, the trick in these cases is to be efficient and not waste money where your opinions don't lie. And so for me in a race like this, and you can already tell Howard and I don't have the exact same opinion of the race. For me, Jack Christopher is a stone cold single. There is no reason to be spending $1. $1 spent on someone else is $1 not won on Jack Christopher, in my opinion. And so there's nothing wrong. So I've made some bets for the benefit of this room. Actually, I felt badly for him based on the pick four that Howard put together, where he spread a little bit here. And so I put together some tickets that singled Jack Christopher, and I pressed up awfully hard. I don't normally bet $25 pick fours, $10 pick fours, but yet in a case where you do feel that there are a few logical singles, there's nothing wrong with pressing up and just hitting it extra times.
Terrific. We're going to bring on one of my co-hosts. I have two wonderful co-hosts. One is at home in Maryland right now. Our other co-host is actually live at Saratoga. Now, for those of you here in the Crazy Pour OTB, based on our technical situation, you're not going to be able to hear our Pete Bisco is going to be coming on here. But, of course, if you go onto your own phone, you go onto YouTube, you can hit the closed captioning, or you can, of course, hear if you're on YouTube at home. It's the people in this room, unfortunately, will not be able to hear Pete. Let's bring him on. One of my fantastic co-hosts from Maryland, as we have about 8 minutes to post. Let's hear his opinion. We're going to bring on the wonderful Pete Bisco. Pete, how you doing there? It's Travers Day, sir.
What's happening, everybody? Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Good to see you.
You too.
Pete, we've already had a big upset. Jackie's Warrior goes down in flames. Of course, the one time that I tried to beat him a few times, Pete, right? We talked about this on Thursday. And now, of course, is the day that he loses to Cody's Wish. What's your feeling here on the other Jack Christopher here in the HL Jerkins? Is this a lead pipe cinch, Pete?
No, I don't think anything's a lead pipe cinch, obviously. But the difference between Jackie's Warrior and Jack Christopher for me is Jackie's Warrior is a stone cold front runner. If he has to get on the top, and that's the only way he generally wins. And we've seen that if he gets pressed, he's vulnerable, which is why I think I went against him in the Breeders' Cup for that reason. I thought there was speed. Jack Christopher, on the other hand, he's okay sitting off. So if Conager goes or if anyone else goes, I think Jack Christopher is just as good sitting off and then pouncing. So I think the versatility makes him a little, maybe not safer, but I like the opportunity because he's a little more versatile and he doesn't require the lead. So he's probably not going to get hooked up in a pace suicide mission, which I think I like better.
What do you think is his best scenario to win here? You got Conager on the rail. You have Gunite that's going to show speed. Those are the other main speeds. Do you think they'll just gun him and try to get to the lead with Junior Ortiz? You think he'll be content sitting off of Conager?
No, I would assume he sits off Conager and maybe even lets Gunite go if he can. If Gunite shows enough speed, I would let him go, let him bounce around with Conager, wear themselves out, pounce, and then just like Matt said a few minutes ago, just roll by them down the lane and then see if Accretive and some of the other closers then can maybe make a move for second or third and sort of pounce on that speed.
Yeah, the track's been pretty fair, Pete. After I watched race one, I don't know if you saw the very first race of the day, where a horse came up the rail and almost won. The rail's been pretty dead all meet long. It has been improving in the last few weeks. Have you seen any track biases? Have you watched the races today on the dirt? Any thoughts? It looks like closers are doing possibly even a little better than the speed as of now.
Yeah, and I, you know me, I generally like that. I like a more fair racetrack. I hate when it's just pure speed. The only difference is, I was talking to my friends about this earlier. I think the one difference is it's sometimes hard to compare the earlier races with the big stakes races, because you have like speed horses in those stakes races that are just really good and they tend to be able to hold their speed longer, or you have better closers so they're able to close under different circumstances. Whereas in some of the lower company, maybe it's not as easy for them to do that. So I tend to not worry about it as much. But I like a fairer course, and it opens it more to all the horses in the race as opposed to just the speed demons.
Yeah, and something to point out, nothing to do with whether you're on the lead or not. We have seen a couple of horses do very well down the center of the track today, and I think it was either the last race or the race before. As the leader swung for home, they went to the center of the track. That actually reminds me of Nick's Go in the Classic, who did the same thing.
Yep.
So it may be that the center of the track is where you want to be, but I'm not sure it's a function of being on the lead or not.
Did someone say the center of the track, like the 9-horse, planting himself right where he needs to be off the lead and going by? Pete, I know that Jack Christopher looks tough here. 6-1 on accredited, a horse who ran a 101 buyer and only his second lifetime start. This to me, and maybe it's just my opinion, but actually, you know what? A horse that have not been done pretty well for me today, especially in race 3 today, for those of you who belong to the Race Day blog, which Matt had a nice hit with. To me, 6-1 accredited is a big overlay. To me, he is very underbet in my opinion, Pete.
Yeah, and I guess nobody's really taking much money. It's all going on Jack Christopher. No, I agree with you. I think that's the horse that is the unknown. We talked about this a lot on the pod the other day on Thursday. Sometimes with Artorias, you sort of like the unknown because maybe they have that next step, that next advancement in them. And if Accretive does and can step up again, then why can't he be right in the same? I mean, Jack Christopher's best figures are 107. He can get to that if he takes another step forward. So I think that's the best and most logical upset for Jack Christopher is the 9. I think if anybody's going to beat him, I would go with him. Just for that reason, I think, because of the logical increase in talent, and I mean he's talented. He's just green.
Okay.
I thought he hung in that last one. That was the only thing that scared me a bit. I thought he should have went by, but he's young,
he was
so who
green,
knows?
but he's young. Again, Pete, for people in the room, for those of you that are in the room here, Crazy Pour, Pete Visco thinks the 9 accredited is the only realistic horse that can beat the 6 Jack Christopher. Your quick opinions. We got 3 minutes to post, Pete, and then we're going to take you off screen real quick. Your opinions on Gun Night.
I like Gun Night. I think the problem with Gun Night is I think he runs the same style as Jack Christopher, and Jack Christopher does it better. So if you're going against someone who does it better, it's hard to lean on Gun Night as opposed to just saying, well, Jack Christopher is just going to win. And I think if Gun Night gets hooked up on the lead, he could have some trouble even hanging on for second.
Terrific. All right, Pete, we're going to take you off screen. We'll have you back on the show later. Thanks for that info, Pete. Greatly appreciate it. All right, so Pete Visco mentioned, everyone, that the number 8 Gunite looks similar to Accredited in terms of his sort of pace scenario and his style, and he just thinks the 9 might be better than the 8. So that's our opinion here. We've got about 2 minutes to post to the H. Alan Jerkins, the start of a race 8. Matt, as you look at the board now, for those of you watching here on YouTube, if you see us looking to our right on the screen there, we are looking at some TV monitors that have the races going on. So we're not trying to ignore you folks at home. We are looking at monitors over to the right. Matt, as you look at the board right now, you've got Accredited starting to dip down to 5-1, Gunite 7-1, Conager 8-0. And it looks like the bettors really aren't quite sure who to make the second choice, which means exactas from a pure money management standpoint. I don't know what the exactas pay. We're going to take a look at it in a second. But that might be the player, just a straight exacta, Jack Christopher with another horse, if you think Jack Christopher is just going to win the race.
Totally agree. You could play an exacta. Let's take your 9. You could play a straight 6-9. If you thought there were a couple threats to your 9 for second, I could picture a trifecta partial wheel, the 6 maybe with the 1 and the 8 over the 9. The other big play, and it's a play that I like quite a bit, I understand 1-2 isn't that sexy. I'm not really talking about a win bet, but if you look in the daily doubles, I suspect you're going to find value there if you look into the next race.
Right now, the 6-9 exacta, it's actually the lowest exacta. It's $5. It's $5 for a dollar. Now, Matt, we've had this conversation many times, and this guy's a money management expert. People see a $5 exacta for a dollar, or $5 exacta for $1, and people always say, "Oh, that's not good enough." If I had a 5-to-1 shot, Matt, that I loved, what is wrong with playing a $10, $15, $20, whatever your budget is, and basically hitting a 5-to-1 shot? What in the world is wrong with that?
I think that's a terrific price. And actually, when we stop talking, I'm about to go take that. I won't be taking it the other way, but I do. 5-to-1 with Jack Christopher on top is you're basically taking a 0.5-to-1 shot and turning him into a 5-to-1 shot if you're right with your secondary opinion. I love it.
Absolutely. Man, I think some people might say, you need to speak up a little bit just for the room, just to let everyone know. The Gunite Exacta is $7 for a dollar. They're about to go to the post. Now, for everyone watching at home, if you're familiar with our show, because of course contractual obligations and copyright laws, on the YouTube channel, we're not going to be showing the race. We're not allowed to do that. But we'll be talking about the race. I'm not going to give a race call. I'm not John Embrial, but we will be sort of reacting as we watch the race. Now, those of you watching on YouTube at home, as we've talked about this before, there's about a 5 or 6 second delay. So as we talk about, for example, we say they just broke from the gate, they actually already broke from the gate for 3 or 4 seconds. So we realize fully that if you're watching at home, and I hope you're watching TV at home, but you have the sound all the way off, and you're listening to the HHH Racing podcast, we realize that watching at home, you're going to be ahead of what we're saying here on the YouTube channel. But I'm personally hoping for a 6-9 or 9-6. Again, they're still walking behind the gate. There's still a little bit of time. Matt, as we wait, Conager is from the rail. Is there any chance this horse can wire the field? He's in very good form, but this is a big step up in class for him.
Right, but the good news is when you're a speed horse, if you're in front, you don't really even know who's behind you. And the reality is, with an early pace figure like this horse has, with a solid break, this horse could be gone. And I don't really think in the end he's going to be there necessarily, but I think he could end up with a very favorable trip. That could absolutely be the spoiler to your 6-9 exacta. I could easily see that being a 6-1-9 trifecta, for example.
My sort of weirdo horse that I'm using him as a B in my ABC, is the number 4 Actuator. I have a ton of respect for Michael McCarthy. He's an excellent trainer. He's very underrated. This is a very aggressive spot for the 4. He only broke his maiden 2 starts back. Then he went into the Indiana Derby, which didn't get the fastest number, but this is a turnback, which I love. He's very lightly raced. And Matt, you all know, they could have run this horse in many different spots. And Michael McCarthy is decided to send him here. By the way, Johnny Velasquez in the saddle, who just won his 1,000th win here at Saratoga. This would be my fuzzy. If someone sort of blows up the tote board for me to be the 4, any quick thoughts on the 4, or do you think this is just going to be a chalky situation?
I think the connections of the 4 probably hope that Jack Christopher wasn't in the race. Sorry.
Well, Jack Christopher is absolutely in the race. They are lining up for the race 8. It's the start of the pick 4. There's over $1.1 million in the pick 4 pool. Here at the pool party here at the Crazy Pour OTB, we have a pick 4 that's on the back chalkboard there. I personally would love to see the 9 be best for everyone. They're about to break from the gate. Actually, I just realized as we talk about this, it is pretty much live. Just when you watch it at home, of course, it's going to be about a 5-second delay. Here we go, the HL and Jerkins, race 8 from Saratoga. Jack Christopher breaks really well. Conager, Matt, did not really break that well. Now he's rushing up, Matt. So Jack Christopher sitting at a perfect spot, Matt.
Feel terrific about it so far, and this is going exactly, I think, like we could have drawn it up.
So they don't look like they're going that fast. Accreditive and Gunite are in perfectly fine spots. I think I see 22 seconds for the first quarter, if I see that correctly. Again, it's very far away for us, folks, so we're not going to have the best view here. But Conager is going comfortably. Jack Christopher sitting, he has zero excuses, Matt. I mean, zero excuses today.
If he's ready, he's running his race and should have no excuse. I agree.
He has not pushed the button yet.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes Jack Christopher.
Mm-hmm.
Gunite is coming behind him. Accreditive is starting to make his move, but Accreditive, the 9's got to pick it up. He's going to go wide. They're in the top. They go very wide at the top of the stretch, and Jack Christopher takes the lead. It looks like Gunite is trying to follow him. Accreditive is coming late on the outside. Come on, this 9 for second. I don't think he's going to get there, Matt. I think he's too far back. Jack Christopher, it has the lead. Gunite is trying. No, forget it. Jack Christopher wins the H. Allen Jerkins easily. I think I see 121 and change. Jack Christopher, way too tough in the H. Allen Jerkins, Matt.
Still a hit. Come on. All right, we're alive in that pick 4 solidly. Look, you have to take what the racetrack gives you, and no one comes to the track on a Saturday hoping to come bet a 1-2 shot. But honestly, it was a clear and obvious pick in my opinion, and you take what they give you.
Jack Christopher is too good. I don't know if he was like super duper unbelievably impressive and just like blew me away. He was very workmanlike today, but he was really good. He's really good. He was under the whip. Gunite was on the wrong lead. The 241 to 1 shot came second. Accreditive, I have to say, was a bit disappointing. I thought he'd be a little bit closer to the pace. As we watched the head on there, oh, no wonder Accreditive broke out a good like 2 lengths from the gate. Accreditive, the 9, did not have a good break, and that obviously cost him a bit. But really, Jack Christopher 1-2, Matt, completely bet down. I have to say this, and I'm very honest on this show. I thought if one of those two, either one of the Jacks was going to lose today, I really thought it would be Jack Christopher. I was wrong. Jackie's Warrior was the one to lose. Can we possibly, Matt? I know it's not that far. There's a big event, from what I understand, in Lexington, Kentucky, in a little over 2 months now in the Breeders' Cup. Can we please see Jackie's Warrior and Jack Christopher battle in the Breeders' Cup Sprint? I think we're lining up to see that.
You know what? We get into an area with this where I'm not the most credible source necessarily, but I would look at Jack Christopher, and I think this last race was at 7 furlongs. If the sprint this year is at 6 furlongs, I think the connections of that horse have a decision to make. I mean, there's the Breeders' Cup Mile or the sprint. It's up a furlong or down a furlong, and I don't know what they're going to choose. That's a tough one. I don't know if that's a choice. You tell me.
We've got Matt. Who joined the show there in the live chat? Matt, who is that?
That is my beautiful daughter Allison at Miami of Ohio as a senior. Hi, Allison.
Hi, Allison. Thanks for joining the show. Listen, we have a lot of people watching. Apparently, and we missed this, the TV crew, Fox, really liked the 9. Thanks, Don Allen, for joining the show. Listen, I have no regrets, Matt. I thought he was very live. He didn't get a great break. I knew I needed a bunch of things to work out for me. It just didn't work out. Let's bring in Pete Visco, our co-host from Maryland. Again, Pete, I'm going to be repeating some things you say for the people here in the room because they're not going to be able to hear you. Jack Christopher, Pete, as we bring in Jack Christopher. Awesome, workmanlike, amazing. Give me some adjectives on Jack Christopher today.
I mean, I thought he was awesome. I mean, I don't mind working.
He thinks Jack Christopher's awesome.
I mean, I don't mind workmanlike when that's all you need to do. I mean, you do what you need to. Why kill the horse if you don't have to? And the funny thing was, Gunite did almost exactly what we said. He sort of ran a similar race to Jack Christopher, just not as good, and they ran 1-2. That was a pretty logical exacta. The 9 was disappointing. The 1 went to the lead. It wasn't the most non-formful race, which is nice. When you can plan the race out and it goes that way, that's nice sometimes. Right, Matt? I know that's exactly what you were looking for.
Yeah. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not necessarily exciting at 1-2, but if you manage to hit the exacta there, if you looked into the daily double, we're going to get to talking about the personal ensign in a minute. I don't really care that there's horses. Without looking at the double will pays, I can tell you right now, if you're right about this next race, you're going to get paid handsomely. And at 1-2, you're not going to really care that it was 1-2.
No.
You're going to hit this double.
I mean, and look at that exacta. I mean, the exacta paid what, 670 for a dollar, like you said, 6.7 to 1 for a 1 to 2
Unbelievable.
shot, and a horse that just and a horse in Gunite who's been excellent sprinting. He just looks like he's a good sprinter, and I mean, it's very logical 1-2 there. In all honesty,
Even if you had just taken Howard, if you had taken two picks and you had taken Gunite and Accretive, or however you say that name, two exactas at $1 a piece, a $2 investment to still get back that six. You've just turned it into a 2-to-1 shot instead of a 1-to-2 shot. So
exactly.
there's all kinds of creative ways to do this, but it is my view. I'm not trying to beat you up too badly, Howard, but it is my view. Spreading is dangerous, especially when you get to short price horses. You got to be pretty precise, and in a race like that, one exacta, two exactas, one daily double, you can absolutely walk away making some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I went 698. That the gun night would have been. You see Philip Conti, not bad, $13.40 on the exacta, which was very logical. By the way, Matt, we also have another comment from our good friend Brad Anderson. Tells Al, listen, Brad, Matt, they haven't even started. Allison, of course, in college. They haven't even started school yet, Matt, have they?
And it's a Saturday. Come on, Brad.
Come on, Brad, give her a break.
Funny.
Brad's firing. Brad, thanks for joining the show. Here's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a quick commercial break here in just a minute, sort of reset ourselves. Pete, I'm going to go ahead and take you off screen. We'll get you back on. Thanks, Pete. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break to reset ourselves. The next race is a fantastic race. It's the Personal Ensign. It is for older fillies and mares, and it is an absolute fantastic race. Even though it's only a 5-horse field, it's a very good race. So I'm going to go ahead and put us back screen, and we'll be back, folks, in just a few minutes. Thanks for watching the HHH Racing Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live at the Crazy Pour OTB in Villa Park, Illinois. I'm your host, Howard Kravitz of the HHH Racing Podcast. And we have with us one of our wonderful people on the show who's been a main contributor to our show. You've seen him many times. He's right here on the show to talk a little bit about the personal ensign, Mr. Kyle Roscoe. Kyle, how you doing today?
Doing good. A little bit of a downgrade, as some would say, but we're doing great. We're fine. Good.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to poke there into the in the camera there. You want to go look into the camera there for everyone there.
Yeah.
I know you're used to a different setup there at home. Kyle, a little bit unusual day so far. Jackie's Warrior goes down, but the other Jack Christopher, wins real well. Super impressive in the Allen Jerkins.
100%. I mean, Jack Christopher just doing what he always does, and like I said, I touted it before, just going back to what he likes to do. 1 turn, 7 furlongs, easily the best in that race. A good run up from I'm blanking. Who finished second? I'm blanking, but good run for second. But yeah, Jack Christopher just much the best.
We're gonna check some comments here. By the way, if Gun Knight was able to switch leads, Kyle, I think it would have been a little bit closer. I mean, Jack Christopher won comfortably, but he was under the whip. It's not like he was in complete cruise control. But anyway, we have a lot of people watching the show. Let's get some comments as we talk about the personal ensign coming up here for older fillies and mares. It's a 5-horse field. We have Phil Conte. Malathot is 2-1, right? Actually, just drifted up to 5-2. We have, let's see here. Here we go. Katie wants to know who you have. We'll get Kyle's opinion here in just a second. The Vale Place is going with Malathot. It's a 4-horse. It's a 5-horse field. Sorry, don't want to give short shrift to the number 4 Crazy Beautiful. But here's what we're going to do right now, as we have people here in our great room are getting their appetizers. This is a great time for people in the room right now as they go ahead and start eating. Ladies and gentlemen, flows you in the room here at Crazy Pour OTB. We're going to start deep diving into race 9. And those of you watching here are going to want to look at the big screen up at the front of the room, because we're going to have the past performances of this race and go through it in quite a bit of detail, including some replays we're going to show also, Kyle, that are very important. So let's go ahead and dive into our analysis of race 9, which of course is the personal ensign. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the PPs right now here in just a second. If you give me a moment here, let me go ahead and share my screen, and we'll go ahead and bring up the PPs. Just 1 second, as I'm doing something a little bit differently than we normally do. It should be right there. It should be correct, I believe. And there we go. Perfect. So again, those of you that are in the room here at Crazy Pour, you're going to want to look at the screen here at the front as we're going to go through the past performances. We're also going to show some replays. Let's quickly go through the field. You've got Latruska, as right now is 5-2. Let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger as well, Kyle, so people that are in the room here can see. Yeah, Latruska is 5-2. You have search results right now at 3-1 for Chad Brown, Flavian Pratt. Clariere, I'm a little surprised. I thought Clariere would be a decent favorite, only at 2-1 right now for Rosario. Crazy Beautiful is a ridiculous 9-1. I have to admit that I think Crazy Beautiful should be 20-1 in this spot, in my opinion. But it's a small field. We know how bettors go. And then, of course, you have Malathot, the number 5. Oops, sorry. Malathot on the outside, having a little bit issue here. Sorry, guys, as I go a little bit too fast here. There we go. Malathot, 5-2. So what you got here, Kyle, is basically 4 horses the same price. Let's not let's just jump right to it, Kyle. Give me your top choice in the personal ensign, and how do you believe the race is going to develop from a flow standpoint?
Right, and as we all know, this is basically just a repeat of the Ogden Phipps. So about 2 months ago or so at Belmont Park on Belmont Stakes Day. I really don't see it shaping out any different. I think Latruska is definitely going to run a better race than she did that time. Obviously, coming back, she's been working really well. I think Search Results is going to try and go after her again, maybe sit a little bit off of her. I think Latruska is going to have the little bit more fitness. As someone said, I know on Thursday, that she wasn't working well going into the Ogden Phipps. She's working well now, a little bit more fit. I think she's going to have a better run at it. But right now, I just think Clariere is the hot horse. Malasad coming from the back. I just think Clariere is going to get the best of them today. But I think Latruska is definitely going to come up, and you can definitely put her behind in second or third.
So we're going to show the replay of the Ogden Phipps. Now, you yourself and yours truly was there for this race. There was a very fast pace. You see search results, the 5 on the outside, absolutely take it to Latruska in this spot, and that really set up for Clariere and Malathot. We'll just go ahead and show the whole race, and you can talk it through. Again, the 5 was search results. The 1 was Latruska. I believe I recall Clairiere's the 4, and Malathot is the 3. Go ahead, Kyle. Take it as they broke from the gate.
That's correct. And like I said, Latruska breaks, just a little bit of a step slow and rushes up to there, but search results breaks out like a rocket, gets right to her outside. And like I said, they're head and head going right down the back stretch. And look at just the amount of space that they're creating together on this absolutely torrential pace that they set at Belmont Park that day. And like I said, then it's Malathot, Clariere, they're all farther back. I know Bonnie South is going to take the place in that race as Crazy Beautiful is in this race, but they kind of run, if I remember correctly, they kind of run the same race where I know Crazy Beautiful likes to be a little bit more closer than Bonnie South does, but I just feel like it's going to kind of shape up the same way. Like I said, I think Latruska is going to run a better race. I think she's going to run a better race than search results here. But look at that. I mean, going a mile and the 16th, granted one turn at Belmont Park, but 22 and 3/5 seconds for a quarter mile.
Now right here, search results gets the better Latruska. Latruska was absolutely awful this day. There's no way to sugarcoat any other way. Latruska was awful. Search results goes by, and if you like search results this day, as a few people that I know did, you were pretty excited here at 5-1, but then here come the 2 trains from behind, timing it really well. Clariere getting the better of Malathot.
Oh, 100%. Like I said, just seeing someone like search results, granted at 5-1, especially people that liked him that day, shake off the champion that is Latruska, was probably unbelievable for those people. But then you see Clariere and Malathot just hitting the go button and running them down right here, which actually I know I was watching from the paddock that day because actually Smoke and Jay was the next race, and I know you were watching from the boxes. I actually thought Malathot was going to get the jump on Clariere here, but in the last 16th of a mile, Clariere just gets up and gets her by a neck at the end there.
Wow. I mean, I liked, I don't know if everyone here at the Crazy Pour OTB remembers this race. This was on Belmont Stakes Day. I actually liked Malathot this day. That was a brutal beat for me. Search results ran a monster race, Kyle. You see search results right here, the 5 horse. Ran a huge race that day, only lose to a few lengths. Now, the question you have to ask yourself as we go back to, let me go ahead and take this off the screen. Again, those of you that are watching here in our banquet room, if you want to see a better TV, there is a full screen TV up towards the front here where myself and Kyle are. You might be able to see the replays and the PPs a little bit better. So you folks might want to take a look at that. The question I have in this race, Kyle, really, to me, there's one big question. How loose is Latruska going to get, right? That's the main question. And the number 2 search results, let me go ahead and try to, I'm trying to move the, there we go. The question is, Flavian Pratt's usually a little more patient. When does he push the button? How much pressure should search results put on Latruska, and when? That's going to set up the entire race.
Correct. And it's going to determine not only how the front pace of it sets up, but how open it's going to be for Malathot and Clariere coming down the lane. And like I said, the only way that we've seen Latruska lose is when she's pressed. That happened in the Ogden Phipps, and that happened in the in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. Those are the 2 times in the last 5 races that we've seen her lose due to being pressed. I feel like, even though, like you said, Flavian is a little more patient with his rides. He doesn't like to send so much as, like Irad did in that race. But search results has to go after Latruska. If Latruska is not pressured at all, it's going to be really hard to catch her, as we've seen in the past.
Based on the odds board right now, as I go ahead, and again, I'm trying to work the computer's a little bit. Okay, there we go. Clariere. I got to tell you, I'm shocked this horse is 2-1. I thought Clariere would be 7-5, 6-5. I thought Latruska would be like maybe 9-5. These odds now, they're going to change as I say that. Just as I say that, Clariere ticks down to 9-5. This horse is in raging form. Kyle, I think this is the best older filly mare in the country. I think this horse is better than Nest right now. Who knows what's going to happen in the distaff. She's in raging form. I think Rosario's got to be careful. He doesn't want to be too far back, but then again, he doesn't want to push the button too soon. This is really a great jockey's race, isn't it?
Correct, and that's really what's going to come down to, as we saw, like you said, as we watched the Ogden Fist replay, when is it time to push that button? Like I said, search results going out to get Latruska, they push the button at the correct time and tack search results on the wire. This is exactly I love these types of races because it's all dependent on what the jockey is going to do and when they're going to push that button. This is shaping up to be a great race for sure.
So, Kyle, talk about this race. This is the Shuvi. Again, you see Mal thought the 3 Clarier sort of bowled his way in between horses and came up the inside. This was a monster effort by look at that, steadying right there, tried to find room, couldn't find it, had to come back into the inside, Kyle, where the inside was not the better part of the track all meet long, and still went on and win. This was a monster effort by Clarier.
100%. Like you took the words right out of my mouth. That steady at the top of the stretch, usually that kills everything that, especially a horse that's coming from the back like Clarier, kills everything they have, and they have to re-rally, and it uses so much energy, but Clarier just bouncing back, hitting through that inside, like you said, as the rail wasn't that good at the beginning of the season for Saratoga. Just an unbelievable effort there. And the other thing I found, granted, it's 3-5, 3-2, but Malthouse was actually also favored in that race as well, which I thought was very interesting coming out of the Ogden Phipps.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to figure out why. We're trying to make sure everything works well there for the people that are trying to watch it here in the now we're having a little bit of issue here. We're good. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Just working through a little technical difficulty there. We'll see if we can get the big screen worked out there in just a minute. You've got right now, again, there's about 9 minutes post. Kyle, we're going to let you go here in just a minute. Before we let you go, first of all, thanks for coming and helping out today here at the Crazy Pour OTB. Any thoughts of the later races? Of course, you've got the Travers, and we have a really interesting sword dancer coming up right before the Travers, right in the next race. Any quick thoughts on the sword dancer and the Travers?
Yeah, the sword dancer again. It's going to shape up to also to be an unbelievable race. This whole card is just great today. It's all going to depend for me on one, how much money Aiden O'Brien's going to take in that race, and two, if he can finally shake off that curse, as they call it, for Aiden O'Brien. I'm going to go with Broom. I'm going to go with that even though the Aiden O'Brien curse, I'm going to try and see if he can break it with Broom. And Gufo is going to be my underneath. I'm going to go second with Gufo. I'm actually going to throw Adamo in there. I know I know we touted the 8, and I love the 8 in this spot as well. 8's the long shot play in this race for sure. It's going to be really interesting to see what that horse goes off at, being at a morning line of 15-1. But I'm going to go, it's going to be 8-6 for me in the sword dancer, or 3-6, sorry. 3-6 in the sword dancer for me, looking for Broom to break that curse. And again, in the Travers, I know Andrew Champagne talked about it a lot that day. I'm going all in on Epicenter. I think he's the best 3-year-old in the country right now, right? At least for the boys, we have Nest. I know that Howard's touted her before, but I think Epicenter is the best in the country. My only problem, so I'm singling Epicenter of the Travers. The only problem I have, I know Tom Espinoza just said it. He likes Adamo. I just don't think the price is going to be right for me on Adamo to be able to play that horse. He's probably going to go off at 7-3-1, about somewhere around there. I know he's morning line 7-2, probably go off somewhere around there, and that's just too short of a price for me to play an Adamo in that type of field.
All right, well, Kyle, listen, unbelievable analysis. Kyle is a contributor. He comes on once in a while on our podcast as well. A former Arlington professor, so shout out to, even though, of course, we're sponsored by Hawthorne, but got a little quick shout out to our fellow Chicago track that's long and gone as of now. Maybe he'll come back. Who knows? Kyle did a great job as an Arlington professor 4 years. Kyle, thanks a lot for coming on the show. We'll be bringing Matt Miller on very shortly to come back on the show here in just a minute. Kyle, we'll let you go and enjoy some appetizers with your father. Shout out to Mr. Roscoe for being here as well today. So, Kyle, thanks a lot. Good luck the rest of the day.
Thank you, guys. Good luck, everybody.
All right, let's bring back on from Maryland our wonderful co-host Pete Visco to talk about the personal ensign. Pete, here we go. Got you back on. We just had Kyle on the show talking about the personal ensign. Your thoughts? Let me go ahead and when Matt Miller's ready, he'll give me a little quick thumbs up, and we'll get him on. Pete, your thoughts on the personal ensign? I'm going to go ahead and bring back the PPs as well to talk about this race. So go ahead. Your thoughts on the personal ensign, Pete?
I mean, I think it's just a fantastic race. It's so I love races where you have a great speed horse in Latruska, you have a great sort of sit right off the speed in search results, and you have two great closers in Clairiere and Malathat. So you have all three levels covered with great horses. So it's really just going to see, okay, who gets the trip out of those. I mean, if Latruska gets loose on the lead, she's so tough and can obviously win. If search results presses again, like she did in the Phipps, then it opens it up for Clairiere and Malathat. And then Clairiere and Malathat, if Latruska does get loose, do they have enough ability to get themselves closer in order to get that closing kick and go by, even if Latruska is on sort of a comfortable lead? I think that's what makes this sort of a fascinating and intriguing race, just to see what the, to see, you can, again, we talk about, you can plan out the pace scenario, but then when you watch it and it goes completely bonkers, let's see how this one plays out.
Yeah. Are you surprised at all with the odds? We talked about the odds quite a bit. I'm a little surprised. Clairiere is ticking down. I thought Clairiere would be more like 6-5, 7-5. She's 8-5. We got 5 minutes to post, Pete. Second choice is Latruska at 2-1. If you like Malathat and or search results, 3-1 is a pretty nice price considering this field, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was surprised more early when it was more when they were all sort of even. Latruska, search results, and Clairiere were sort of hovering together. That really surprised me. Yeah, I mean, if you like search results, which we know our other co-host Paul Halloran loves search results generally, I think that's a great price. Malathat, who supposedly was flat last time and wasn't really in form apparently, and is supposedly ready to go, getting that horse at 3-1 is nice. And I mean, Latruska, as good as she is and how much of a pace advantage she potentially can have, even having her at 2 isn't probably the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, Latruska, absolutely spit the bit last time.
Yeah, but again, I
think
think
was awful. But again, she's been working well. You'd have to think, that they're confident with this horse. And as we talked about with Kyle, isn't the big question here, Pete, is when does Flavien Prat push the button on search results to make Latruska work?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to have to wait a little bit because he doesn't want the same thing to happen that happened in the Phipps. So he doesn't want to get close enough to press Latruska to the detriment of his own horse, which is what happened last time. But it's a double-edged sword where if he stays too far back and they let Latruska go easy, and on the back stretch she can back down sort of those middle quarters, then the whole field is in trouble. So it's real. I mean, luckily you have Pratt, who's one of the best to figure this out, but it's a real tough decision because he can sort of screw himself either way, depending on which decision he makes.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely fascinating from pace perspective. Pete, I don't think there's a lot of too many ways to play. We have some people coming on. Let's get some comments on Richard Posner. Richard, thanks for joining the show. Richard is going 3. I'm assuming that means 3-1-5. He's going with Clairiere. Let's see. Vale Place is going with Malathat. Now, we did talk about Malathat just for a minute. There's 3 minutes to post. Apparently, Malathat was acting up in the gate, was maybe overheated last time. Malathat supposedly is working great and feeling great. I don't know, Pete. I always tend to think it's a little bit of excuses. I'm not a trainer. Obviously, Malathat can bounce back. I think if Malathat wants to win this race, I think her best opportunity to do that, Pete, is to get the jump on Clairiere. Your thoughts on how Malathat can win this race?
No, I agree. Because I think at least as of what we've seen lately, Clairiere is just better at doing what Malathat does. We talked about it in the last race with Gun Knight and Jack Christopher. They're similar enough to where their running style is the same, and Clairiere has just been doing it better than Malathat. Now, that doesn't say that Malathat can't win, but in a 5-horse field, you figure trip, and you're not going to get into hopefully too much trouble as a closer. Usually closers have trouble. I mean, Clairiere did last time in a short field and sort of worked her way up the rail and was able to get the win anyway. I mean, Clairiere is my favorite. She's maybe my favorite horse, if not like in the top 2. So I'm rooting for her. And I said to my betting partner,
all right, we know.
I told him after their first race of the year, I said, this is going to be the champion older filly or older mare. And she's well on her way. And this race is going to go a long way if she can pull this one out. And plus I have her singled in my pick 5 in the only ticket I have left. So so I'm rooting for Clairiere regardless.
Yeah, well, Pete, good luck to you. We're going to go ahead and take you off screen again. The people here can't hear you, so there's just no noise when you're talking. Unfortunately, we'll fix that for the next time.
Lucky
Pete,
them.
good luck with your single in the pick 5, and we'll talk to you in a little bit. Thanks, Pete. Matt, there's a big play. You cannot go. So people that want to play the pick 3, we've got actually 1 minute to post. We don't have a lot of time. Matt, who's your pick in this race? Do the odds have any influence? For me, 9 to 5 is an overlay on Clear Air. I think she's under bet. I'd be tempted to put a win bet on Clear Air. Personally, your thoughts?
I think the odds on every horse in this race feel about right. Maybe search results, maybe that one's a little bit low for me. For me, I never thought I'd see 2 to 1 on Latruska again, and with a clear pace advantage. For me, this race is about the 1. I think the 3 is going to, Clear Air, I think is going to offer just terrible value from a multi-race betting perspective. And so it's for that reason that I have the 1 and the 5. I have Malathot in as well. That's mainly, again, from a value perspective, but this is wide open. And in my opinion, it's the best race of the day.
Well, Matt, before they leave, I've been sitting here. How is the food? Is the appetizers? Looks like people are really enjoying themselves here at a fantastic OTB. If you're ever in the Chicago area, shout out to Crazy Pour OTB in Villa Park, Illinois, sponsored by Hawthorne Racecourse. They're doing it right. Everyone's having a great time. This is really a fun atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, this place is great. I walked up to someone and said, "Where were you when I was in high school or in college?" This place is great. So it's plenty of space, great food. Yeah, really enjoyable atmosphere.
All right, so Matt, they're about to break from the gate here. Well, actually, they're still circling in behind. My sort of bummer with Jack Christopher, I don't mean to go back, but I like to get some prices. And with Jack Christopher winning, this pick 4, all of a sudden, it went way down. But as we said, if you press up, it's not as bad. I mean, obviously, if it's going to be 1 to 2, 8 to 5, 2 to 1, epicenter 7 to 5, it's just not going to pay much. But if it pays, let's just say it pays $40, which for a pick 4 is awful. If you have it multiple times, you can still make money.
Yeah, look, for the benefit of the people in this room, we have a bet on the board back there, and those additional pick 4s under the name Matt are part of the pool here. And so we are singled to Jack Christopher in the first leg. We have the 1 and the 5 in this leg. And look at the denominations involved. We're going to make some money if that bet hits. It's the fact that the odds aren't great, it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. For those people, by the way, listening here in the room of Crazy Pour, we decided not to make a bet in this race. We're going to spend $300 in the next 2 races vertically. Of course, we do have the pick 4 going, but in case people in the room are wondering, it was a small field, Matt. We didn't want to use money for the pool party here. We thought we could get value other places. They're about to go to the gate. I expect to see Latruce to go to the lead. We would expect search results to sit off. I'll tell you what, let's have a little fun, Matt. I'm going to say 23-4, 48-2. Over or under 23-4, 48-2. Now, it's faster or slower than that?
I think slower, and I think Latruska will be on the front end doing that. And if that happens, I think the race is over.
You know what, though? We talked about this a lot before. We don't have as much time, Matt. Wouldn't it be better for Latruska to open up a little bit, take everyone off the bridle, make them chase harder? Because if Latruska goes slow, the closers are going to be closer and have a better kick. I've always thought if you're a speed horse, you don't want to go too slow. You sort of want to open up and make them chase you, no?
Yeah, I'm going to guess that it's going to be, maybe after the half mile that this horse hits the gas. And when everyone else is starting to make their move, it's just not going to look like they are, because I think she's going to be making hers as well. We'll see.
All right. Sorry, I realized we had a banner on the screen that said "We'll be back." Listen, we have nothing that's going on. I didn't take the "We'll be back." Here's the real anyway. We've got the Personal Ensign. They're all in the gate for the Grade 1. Personal Ensign, race 9 from Saratoga. It looked like someone was a little bit fractious in the middle of and they're off. Latruska breaks just fine. And I'll tell you what, Crazy Beautiful is actually showing a little speed, as is Malathot. Clarier is way back. I'm very surprised that right now, not with Latruska and search results, but Clarier is already a good 7-8 lengths back.
That's pretty far back. Something's not right.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what's going on, but I have a feeling something's amiss with Clarier. This is not, I don't know why she'd be this far back unless they're flying. Mac, you see that quarter time?
I cannot.
Sorry, I think it's 23 and change. I can't quite see the quarter times. Again, we apologize to people. 23 and 4, I was exactly right.
And it looks,
if this is 48 and 2, I'm going to go home and go to Vegas because that's what I predict. What does that say there? We got 48 and 1. So I was pretty much right on with my fractions. Let's see, let's see, Latruska's on top. Everyone looks very comfortable right now. Latruska is about 2 lengths ahead of search results. Malathot's in a very comfortable spot. I mean, Clarier is way back. Clarier is absolutely not firing at all. At the top of the stretch, it looks like it's either going to be Latruska or search results. Here's Malathot. Is going to angle out. Malathot's going to go to the 3-path. Search results and search results and Latruska. Search results gets ahead of Latruska. Here comes Malathot trying to run down search results. Search results. Malathot wins the personal. Ensign beating search results. Latruska faded to third. Shockingly, Clarier never in the race from the start. Malathot redeems his last few races, turns the table. Congratulations to Todd Pletcher and Johnny Velasquez. Wins by a half a length. The whole key to the race, he didn't try to get cute. I love this effort. We got to talk about this race. We have to talk about the ride by Johnny V, Matt. He could have come up the inside, but you know what? He didn't want to get caught. He didn't want to get bumped. He didn't want to get steady with this horse. I love what Johnny V did. Swung her out to the 3-path, gave her a clear run. If she tries to come up the inside, I don't know if Malathot wins. I love this ride by Johnny V.
And it's what we talked about before, the middle part of the racetrack perhaps being a little better. And so that might have factored into the decision as well. Yeah, it was a great ride. And look, I think, I'm not one to criticize rides, but it feels to me like search results once again cost herself the race by going after the leader. And, I don't know what to say for Clarier, but Malathot, Johnny V, just watched that whole thing unfold right in front of him and went right by. That was spectacular.
Listen, I didn't bet Malathot on top. I've been chasing her. She hasn't been quite as good. She ran a big race, but there's 2 stories in this race. And by the way, I saw who in the room here at Crazy Pour OTB cashed on Malathot. Anyone cashed here on Malathot? I saw a few people. We got a few people. Good job with both of you that cashed on Malathot. I saw a few people cheering on Malathot there down the stretch. To me, there's 2 stories in this race, Matt. There are 2 stories. The main story has got to be Malathot. Clarier, I said it right from the start, Matt. Clarier didn't break sharp, looked completely uninterested. Pete Visco, I see here in the backstage. We'll get you on in just a minute, Pete. But Clarier looked disinterested from the start and just absolutely never fired at all. I'm completely shocked. I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, that's horse racing, and I'm sure we'll find something out. I'm sure there's some excuse or some reason. It happens, and for those of us that ended up cashing on this, I don't think it's because we expected Clarier to do that, but yet, things happen, and 3-1 is a solid price on that horse, and I do think, again, from a value perspective, the value is going to be there in the multi-race bets for this one. So we're in good shape.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got Katie. By the way, can we give a shout out to Trish Smith? Trish, I hope you're listening to this. Trish and Matt, I know Mike knows what I'm talking about. Trish, I believe, won the qualifier to get into the BC contest on horse players. So Trish, I don't know if that's your first clean W in a contest, but congratulations, Trish, who She loves search results. Search results ran fantastic, by the way. Matt, thoughts for Trish Smith winning the contest on horse players. Pretty cool.
I did see that. I was in that one. I think that's the one that benefits the TRF, and that's one I do every week. Absolutely. Nice job.
Yeah, congratulations. Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay. I apologize if I don't speak right away after Matt talks. Now, let's talk about search results. Well, first of all, let's hope Claire is okay, number one. Clarier, to me, was the leading older horse female in the division. Let's bring on Pete Bisco as well to talk. Pete, wow, first of all, a fantastic race. By the way, you aren't muted, Pete, so there you go. You're trying to pull your best Paul Halloran impression. A lot to unpack here, Pete. To me, there's two main things to focus on. The ride by Johnny, the decision that he made, Pete, at the top of the stretch to tip out 3 wide and not get cute and try to come up on the inside, I thought was absolutely brilliant, Pete.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about brilliant. I just think he's got a big, not to bemoan it. I think he's got a big horse who is better off just running in a straight line. And she's not exactly like one of those athletic, let me dip to the rail and squeeze through kind of horses. So I think he knows the horse, and he figured out he knows who I'm riding, and that's good enough. So that makes it a great ride. He knows who he was on. Let me get it out. Like Matt said, the middle of the course seems to be the place to be. Let me get her out, get her a straight run, and then try and chase him and hope I can run him down. So I think from that perspective, yeah, it was a perfect ride.
Yeah.
I think
Pete, we got to listen. We got to talk about it. I'm going to fully admit I like Claire a little bit today. First of all, I'm sure you heard Matt and I talk about. Let's hope Claire is okay. First of all, that nothing happened. She looked disinterested from the very break of the gate. I was shocked she was that far back. Katie said Claire acted up in the gate. Pete, maybe you can tell us more because we're looking at a TV a good like 30 feet away from us, so we couldn't tell. But if you can expound on that, Pete, what Katie said, I'm assuming that's true, that Claire acted up. I didn't see that. Your thoughts on Claire? Just never interested, never got involved. I'm totally shocked.
Yeah, no, I didn't see the gate either. I was waiting for the replay, but
okay.
No, I have no idea. I mean, you said it perfect when she was that far back. I mean, that's not her race. She's a closer, but she's not meant to be that far. Especially, you don't want to stay that far out of touch in a short field, chasing a good front runner. So I just think, yeah, I don't know. It's either going to be some excuse, some injury, or who the heck knows? Because she was completely. I mean, it's almost a toss race for me if she doesn't come back like with any serious kind of injury and comes back. I almost look at it as a toss that just something might have happened. It just wasn't her day.
Yeah, by the way, Matt, you can see on the bottom of the screen there, Trish said, Trish, come to our pool party. It might not have to wait till next year. We're hoping Hawthorne will have us back sooner than that. We've had tremendous response there at the Crazy Pour OTB today with a lot of people involved and a lot of winners. And we have Rhonda, and we got everyone here from Hawthorne doing a great job. Rhonda, how many? If you could let someone run us over how many total people we had here signed up for the for our pool party. They do limit it to a certain amount, but I know we had a lot of people. We'll get Rhonda. We'll get that number. We have a lot of people here that joined the pool party. Now, Matt, we got to talk about something else here.
Well, we also haven't cashed a ticket yet, so.
well, but hold on. I was just getting to that. Okay, so we have some big pick fours. Let's not poo-poo ourselves too much. We've really only made one vertical bet, and that was the last race. Matt, tell everyone in the room, and those that are in the room right now have got to give a big shout out to the gentleman next to me. Out of his own free will, out of his own money, you see Kyle Roscoe at the chalkboard. Those two picks on the bottom, those two pick fours, Kyle will move out of the way in just a little bit. Those two massive pick fours were out of Matt's own pocket for everyone here in the room. And Matt had Malathot on both of his tickets. Matt, do I see $25 and $10 pick fours that we're alive to along with our other pick fours? How about a hand from Matt Miller for shelling out his own money for all you guys out here? Matt, we are live to literally $50 pick fours, literally.
Yeah, we're doing okay so far. We haven't cashed a ticket yet, but look, this next race is a little tougher, and we are singled in the last leg. We'll talk about what to do about that if we get to that point, but this is what we talked about when the show started. you got to press up your opinions, and having favorites isn't necessarily a bad thing. I am convinced Malathot at 3-1 is going to pay better than that in these multi-race bets. So I'm feeling pretty good about where we're sitting. This next race,
absolutely. So here's what we're gonna do, Pete. I'm gonna actually. I know you've been waiting patiently. I'm gonna actually go to a very quick. We're gonna go to a very quick commercial break, everyone. This is gonna be a much shorter one, literally about a 1-minute commercial break. We're gonna sort out our pool party handicapping for race 10, the sword dancer, and the picks we're gonna make here. Pete will bring you back as we discuss the handicapping of the sword dancer. Thanks for joining us, Pete. We'll take you off screen. Appreciate it. All right, Matt, so we're going to take a very short break here in just a moment, and we'll be back literally in about a minute and a half, about 90 seconds, to deep dive into race 10, the sword dancer. Again, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us here at the Crazy Pour OTB in Villa Park, Illinois. We'll be right back, folks. Welcome back to the Crazy Pour OTB here at Villa Park, Illinois. We are having absolute blast on Travers Day. We've got about 15 minutes to our next race. This is the Penultimate race before the Travers Stakes. This is a fantastic race. This is the Sword Dancer. They're going a mile and a half on the turf. It's a nice big field of 10. And my quick feelings, Matt, before we deep dive into the handicapping, of all the races that we're covering here today, I think the most likely chance of a big price could be in the Sword Dancer. Right now, Broom is, to me, a shockingly low 6-5.
Broom is definitely the buzz horse. And without promoting other podcasts on your own, you know I have one in particular I listen to. It's a mutual friend. It's the only other podcast I listen to. This horse was getting all the buzz there. This horse seems to be getting all the buzz everywhere. 6-5 is definitely not a fair price in my opinion, but it is not as surprising to me. It's just a great opportunity to spread. I would say it's probably 6-5 for some reason, so I wouldn't be exuding massive confidence betting against it, but there's no chance I'm betting Broom at 6-5. We've got him included in the pick 4. That's fine. I don't regret having him there, but certainly for purposes of an in-race bet,
yeah,
I'm going to look elsewhere.
Yeah, well, we went quite deep in this race, and I don't know. By the way, I don't know if you heard. I know the Chicago Bears are starting their season soon, but the starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears might be here right by the chalkboard because I cannot see the picks. As the starting quarterback, Mr. Fields, is back there. There he is. Give us a wave. There he is. There he is. Just a guy wearing a jersey. Don't get too excited.
It's not him.
We're very deep. We've got a lot of horses in the pick 4 in this race. For those people here, the Crazy Pour OTB, this is very important for everyone that can hear me right now. We are going, after this race, we're going to be pulling 4 names out of the box for the raffle. 2 of you are going to win on the HHH Racing Podcast. This is on myself, a free $50 win bet on the Travers. 2 of you will get that, and another 2 of you are going to get a 2-month free subscription to the Race Day blog tip sheet. Now, for all of you that are here, I cannot emphasize enough, I hope you grabbed a business card from the table, because on the back of the business card, there are 2 QR codes. One is to the YouTube channel, and the other one has the tip sheet. It's only 15. Let me go ahead and bring up the banner, if I may. We got to do our promotions here, Matt. This is a great opportunity for us. You can see on the bottom of the screen now, we have a Race Day blog. It's very inexpensive. It's only $15.99 for the entire month. And I'm going to Matt laud its praise in just a minute. But you get it every Saturday. You get this every Saturday. It's only $4 every Saturday. There has been tremendous price plays all over the place. We put ABC grids on there. We've had pick 4s, 5s, and 6s. Matt, by the way, if you're going to subscribe to the Race Day blog, folks, I would wait until September 1st. Please wait until September 1st. Wait till next week, September 1st, because the Patreon website does automatically charge you on the 1st of every month. So if you're going to subscribe to the Race Day blog, it's best to wait until September 1st or after. But Matt, the Race Day blog, I don't want to talk about it because then it sounds like I'm patting myself in the back. It's been pretty damn good.
It has been pretty damn good. And I'm glad you stopped talking, because no one's going to believe you talking about your own blog. I'm not trying to rip you too hard. You've priced this too short. I'm looking at you in the audience at home. I'm looking at you in the audience here. This thing is gold, especially if you've got a good eye for reading it. I don't make every play that he suggests, but especially if you don't have the time to do the handicapping, especially for all the various tracks that Howard's looking at, this blog is fantastic. Right off the bat today, I went right to the first race and made a killing. I mean, it's right there, and it's in writing. So yeah, I couldn't be more thankful for what he puts out. I'm still working with him on how he should actually be betting his own picks. He's not even smiling that much as I say that, but these picks are terrific, and I think would be a huge, huge help to anybody.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Yeah, to mean it.
I really, that really means a lot to me. We had race 3 went 8-1, correct, on the blog today. And look, it's paying over what the ROI before today. The ROI was about 250. I'm not going to put favorites on there usually. So you only need to hit one out every 3, 4, or 5, and you're well up for the day. So thanks a lot, Matt. I appreciate that. Richard in the chat, how do I get in the raffle? Richard, unfortunately, it's only people here at the Crazy Pour OTB. So Richard, sorry. Next time, fly in Illinois and come watch us live here at the Crazy Pour OTB. But Richard, again, the raffle is only for people that are here live. And by the way, shout out to Rhonda and Dakota with Hawthorne. Matt, there are 40 people, which is actually an excellent number for people that are here because they do limit it. I think the last show they had with a very famous personality that's on the radio a few weeks ago, they had around 30. So we brought it today. We have 40 people that are here, and many other people in the OTB, but we really appreciate all the support. Pete, let's bring you on, and we're going to go to the PPs as well. So Pete and Matt, let's break down, as I see about 9 minutes to post to the sword dancer as I go bring on Pete Visco right now. Pete, as I think you probably already heard, in my opinion, this is the one race in our sequence on live today that we can really get a price on. And just so everyone knows in the room, everyone that's in the room right now, I know you can hear me, Kyle Roscoe is about to put our picks up for this race. And we are using the 6 Gufo pretty heavily in this race. We're going to play big trifectas, and we're going to back wheel. It's one of my favorite plays, Pete. We're going to key the 6 Gufo on top, and we're going to back wheel Gufo in second and third with many others. They're going to see the picks on the screen. Pete, you know that's one of my favorite picks. And it's great that we get to talk about Gufo because in a minute, I'm going to show something from Tuesday's show, Pete, with Miguel Clement. But Pete, talk about Gufo and how you see this race literally for about 1 minute, please.
Yeah, I like Gufo because I think he likes this distance a little more. He's putting the blinkers on, and Miguel will talk about that on the video you're going to show. I like that he's putting the blinkers back on. Hopefully that keeps him a little closer, but he likes this distance, and the blinkers keeps him closer. I think he's got a better shot to win. He just is one that just can't lose distance with the field. He can't be too far back because he always makes a run, but so many times he makes that run and ends up third or second, and if you got him on top, you're upset most of the time. So I love Gufo. He's one of my favorites too because of the closing style, but he has to stay a little bit closer and stay in touch with this field.
Yeah, these last 3 have been a little tougher, but
go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was going to say the horse is 8 for 18. I tend to focus a lot on winning. I'm not a big vertical player necessarily. The winning percentage is fantastic. I recognize that the last 3 haven't been great, but this horse does know how to win. Just not recently. And Pete, I'm with you. The blink's on, and I think the interview that Howard's going to pick up, I think make a really compelling case here.
And he is 3 out of 5 wins, like you talked about, Matt. 3 out of 5 at the distance.
Ready here. I have the wrong Sean. Matt, as I go ahead and get the replay up, why don't you and Pete can banter a bit on your opinions on Broom, who's 7 to 5. I'm shocked that he's actually this low, and some other horses that you guys like as I go ahead and bring up the comment from Miguel Clement.
Yeah, okay. So I'll go first, and just on Broom, I tend to be a bit of a cynic when it comes to the Euros coming here. Whether it's the travel, whether it's running in a different direction, I don't pretend to have an explanation for it, but I do tend to think that there's this concept of the European monster super horse that comes here, and pretty consistently, especially on Breeders' Cup Day, many of them underdeliver. And so we're looking at 3 to 2 now, 7 to 5. It's okay. But for me, it seems to be a wide open race. Pete, I'm not trying. I don't want to steal your thunder, but I know you're a stats guy. I'm sure you've got something to say on Aiden O'Brien, so I'm not. I mean, if you don't, I will. But
no, we put that in. We talked about it Thursday, and it's in the stats for anybody who gets the blog. We also do the stats of the day, which have a lot of stats, mostly trainer statistics. And yeah, like you said, at O'Brien, 0 for 24 on the win end, going 12 furlongs and up in the U.S. on turf. 0 for 9 wins on the Saratoga turf. The O'Brien-Ryan Moore combo, which, like you said, you would, if you just said it to a random horse racing fan, you'd be like, O'Brien Moore, they must be dominant when they come over. 6 for 60 on the win end in the U.S. So this is one where I threw the horse out of my top 3 that we do on the show, and it's mostly because if I could see something where I can go against a horse that's going to be sub 2 to 1, I'd rather take the shot at it. I know I put him as a B, as like a lone B on my ABC tickets today, but I looked at it as one. I mentioned this on the show. I thought this was a great field, but not great horses. Like this doesn't seem like an A plus Aidan O'Brien horse to me. So I feel like there's no A plus horses in here. So that's why I like the 8 ultimately to take the shot and try and go with a double digit and pull a big price here and see if I can get a horse who's on
very
the
interesting.
upswing.
Let's go ahead. Oh,
no, go ahead, Howard.
sorry, Pete.
No,
So
you're good.
I hope everyone at home, they're watching YouTube, will be able to see this clearly. I'm going to go ahead and bring on the screen right now. This is from our show on Tuesday. This is giving Miguel Clement talking about their runner. Of course, the assistant trainer to Christoph. This is Miguel Clement talking about Gufo this year.
He was impressive at Gulfstream. He won very impressively. He wasn't 100% ready. Then we ran in the Man of War. He was a bit unlucky. He beat Yabir, but we didn't quite catch the horse on the front end. The Manhattan was a touch unlucky. Maybe we were a bit further back than we would have liked, but he ran well. Maybe it's a touch short for him. And then the United Nations, it was we learned from that race. I think he was like 16, 17 lengths, off of them at the backside, and he made up 15 lengths to only get beat 2 lengths. He showed a devastating turn of foot. They're just too much too late. Plus, I'm not sure if Monmouth suits him. Short stretch, tight turns, very speed favoring. We live and learn, and now we're going for the Sword Dancer. We have Joel back in the irons. Blinkers on.
Interesting.
He went blinkers on last year. He went blinkers back on this year. He didn't need it at the beginning of the year because he was very much into the race.
Right.
I think in his last 2 starts, he was further back than we would have liked. His last start especially, it was too tough for Joel to stay within the tact of the field. And once he got going, it was just too late. Even if he ran, I think, a very good race. If you look at the stretch, he made up like 8 or 9 lengths in the Monmouth stretch, which was very tough to do. Blinkers on. We hope that keeps him within contention of the field. He's training very well. He had 3 or 4 good works on the grass here at Saratoga. He's fit. He looks well. He's sound. He's happy. You kick on. I'm bullish about his chances, to be honest with you.
There we go. I mean, again, the Clements like Gufo's chances. Here's my feeling. I think Gufo right now is 4-1. Gufo is second choice. 4-1's a little bit. I guess that's about right, Matt and Pete. But I think of any horse, and this is why, for those of you that are here at Crazy Pour, if you look at the board, I'm keying the 6, and I'm back wheeling Gufo in every spot, Matt, because if there's any horse in this race, Pete and Matt, that I feel like has the best chance to hit the board, almost, I would never say for sure, it's freaking horse racing. But if I say, what's the horse that's most likely to hit the board, I would say Gufo, and he's not the favorite, Matt, so that's a good play, right?
Absolutely. 16 for 18 lifetime in the money, right? In addition to the terrific win percentage, 8 of those other races came in second or third. So you look at this, the horse that I think won this race last year, showed his best buyer of last year in this race, has shown some terrific buyers despite not winning these last few. I agree. You can't guarantee anything, but this horse should be on the board, if not winning.
Matt, your thoughts on Gufo on our bet, or where do you see him in this race?
Matt
I'm sorry,
Pete?
My bad.
Pete. I know we're both bald, but we don't look with glasses on, and I guess we look close to the left. I like the play.
By the way, we only have about 1 minute to post, Pete, so real quick.
I like the play with Gufo. I like the tri wheel underneath like you do, just because again that is a horse that definitely hits the board like Matt said. So you're getting him at a decent price. Now we just need a price on top is what you would want though. Go ahead.
Well,
Matt.
And I do want to throw in my buddy Drew Coatney and I had a conversation this morning, and he made some very compelling arguments on Mira Mission, the 10. I would absolutely be looking at that 10 horse as a possible. It's a win candidate, but certainly like Gufo as an underneath candidate also. If you're looking for someone else.
Well, I'll tell you. Let me real quick. I'm going to bring up the PPs up super quick here because we do have about a minute or two. There's the PPs for Gufo. Everyone can see them on the screen now. Let me see if I'm going to go, full screen. There's the PPs for Gufo. He's just very consistent. You mentioned Mira Mission, the 10. Mira Mission is interesting in this race. This horse has never gone this distance. The number 10, Mira Mission. 17-1 for Ian Wilkes. But this horse is by Noble Mission, who is out of Galileo, by a Dynaformer mare. So there's a lot of distance in the breeding of the 10 Mirror Mission. Mirror Mission lost to City Man, who just won as a nice horse, was right there to Santine, who just won some race that we can't mention because it should have been at Arlington. But anyway, has raced very well. Mirror Mission is a fascinating long shot in this race, I think, Matt.
We'll see. I think so. And not that I'm an advocate of playing Broom, but if you are stuck on the 8-5 favorite, 3-10, 3-all-10, I think you can do worse than that. I do still like Gufo though.
And I know I'll go with the 8 on top. The 8's my play on top, and then with Gufo, and I still like Adamo because I think Adamo could work out a trip just behind the speed where we expect there should be a little bit of speed. If Channel Maker breaks and Tribuvan goes, then those two, they generally, can hook up. I mean, that in the last time that Tribuvan won, it was because Channel Maker didn't break and never made it to the lead. So they allowed Tribuvan to go and sort of just take his speed the whole way. So I'm looking for that. And I think Adamo could potentially sit and at least hit the board. He's been on a little bit of an upward trend as well, even though he got the perfect trip last time.
Sure. I love the live show. We got people coming up to talk to, I got people coming up live to talk to Matt Miller, Pete. That's why I took him off, which is absolutely fine. Listen, I'm just some kind of a schmuck who, I only won $70,000 in March. Matt won $500,000 in November. So I guess
nobody cares about you.
No problem.
Nobody cares about you.
Anyway, that's okay. Listen, I'll take that any day of the week. Pete, the turf is not firm. It's more on the good side. Do you think that favors anyone, or it's in between, right? It's not firm, it's not yielding.
Yeah, I didn't handicap it as if it was a little bit soft, as if there was a little cut in it, just because I figured I felt like it would probably be a little closer to firm. So I hate trying to gauge it when it's not obvious. I hate trying to gauge it on my own. So I just handicapped it like a fast track. Or firm turf, I should say.
All right, Pete, we're going to take you off. Thanks for your great analysis. We'll see you after the Sword Dancer. Matt, they're about to go in to the gate. This is a huge race for our pick fours and just for everyone involved here. We have Broom the 3, but I think it'd be fair to say we definitely need to beat Broom here. As I look at our pick fours, and I know what people have on my race day blog, a lot of the things. I think probably Soldiers Rising the 8 would be great. Gufo would be great here. Mirror Mission would actually be outstanding. Correct? We really need to beat Broom, I would say.
Yeah, and one last comment. This does feel like the kind of race where you could see Adamo doing exactly what he did last week, and winning again. And it wouldn't be that surprising. It looks like a little late money on the 1 at 4-1. For me, I wouldn't be shocked to see the 1 or the 6 win this race. I'd be disappointed to see the 3.
I agree. Now, Broom, by the way, Aiden O'Brien, everyone out there listening, Aiden O'Brien has 0 wins at Saratoga. Trainer Aiden O'Brien, one of the best trainers in the world, has never won a race at Saratoga. Maybe today will be the day. It's the Sword Dancer, grade 1. They're going 1.5 miles, race 10 at Saratoga. And they're off, and Broom got off very slow and usually wants to show some speed. This is going to be interesting. Tribuvan, of course, up on the lead. No surprise there. Again, the TV is pretty far away from me, folks, so it's not going to be easy for me to see exactly what's going on. It looks like Channel Maker is sitting off. Tribuvan's going to get another slow pace, Matt. Can he do it going 1.5 miles, though?
He absolutely can do it 1.5 miles. I want to note that Mirror Mission is up there as well. Looks like Rock Emperor, too. So they're passing the stretch the first time. It's a long race. I don't expect a lot of change in position for a little while. But I will say that 7 looks very comfortable, like usual at this stage.
Yeah. Now, I think his horse wants firm turf, and I think he probably wants longer. But listen, he's a really classy horse. He won on Belmont Day. If he gets away at a really slow pace, he could absolutely win. Gia Chalmers, you got to bomb the 4 horse. It looks like he's sitting the pocket. Mirror Mission's in a nice spot, only a few lengths off. Broom is pretty far back right now, but Broom closed like a train in the Breeders' Cup Turf and almost won in November. I think I see 113 if I see that accurately, which is, it's not that slow, but it's not that fast, Matt. Pretty comfortable.
Agreed. And at this point, I'm just kind of looking at Broom. That's the one that's spooking me, but I'm not seeing anything that scares me. The 7 is looking pretty strong up front.
A lot of people like Soldiers Rising. Soldiers Rising and lap. Soldier Rising, the 8, wins from here, Matt. He's a superstar.
Superstar.
I'm
Agreed.
not sure he can do that. Again, you still have Tribute Round in front. They're just the same. Nothing has changed at all. They're gonna, if they let Tribute Round walk around the race, walk around again, that'd be amazing. Now the race is going. Tribute is trying to get away. No one's really making move. Here comes Mirror Mission on the outside, the 10, which would be great for everyone in this room. You got Tribute on top. Mirror Mission on the outside. Looks like he's got the best of Tribute. Mirror Mission, the 10, taking the lead. You got Goofo come making a big run on the outside. It's Mirror Mission. Goofo. Here comes Soldier Rising. Mirror Mission. Goofo. It is Goofo is going to win the Sword Dancer. Mirror Mission in second. Soldier Rising in third. This is a huge try for everyone in this room and people at home. This is a big try for the HHH Racing Podcast. We've got, a $2 trifecta, I believe. Kyle Ross, give me a thumbs up. We've got a $2 try with 4-1. We've got a 4-1 over 18-1, over 13-1. A $2 try. We also have Goofo in all the pick 4s. We beat Broom. Another high five right here. Another high five. High five. We crushed this race. I hope you crush this race too. What an incredible job by the Clement barn. I thought Mirror Mission was home free. I got to say, if Mirror Mission had won, actually our tries would have been better.
Oh.
And our pick 4s would have been better too. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy overall. But if Mirror Mission held on, Matt, whoa.
Drew Coatney, if you're listening, thanks again. That was great. There's nothing wrong with giving credit to someone else for a good pick. It was a great pick.
We got to bring in Pete Visco. Pete, I'm hoarse. Sorry, Pete, I didn't give you a warning. People are going berserko here at the Crazy Pour OTB. We've got a $2 try, Pete. We actually had a $2.50 try if Mirror Mission had held on, which would have been really big. Broom was just too far back. Aiden O'Brien still the big 0. Shout out to Miguel Clement, Christophe Clement. We had them on the show Tuesday. What an incredible closing kick and ride by Rosario. Pete, he had Goofo just close enough to sweep by and win.
I mean, we talked about it. That's exactly what he did. Maybe putting the blinkers back on worked. He loves the 1.5 miles. He got the trip that he needed. He was chasing horses. Like, I think Mirror Mission ran phenomenal, but Mirror Mission had never gone that far in that last, 16th of a mile, potentially got to him, and Goofo's used to doing that. So he was just able to go by. So it was great. And my 8 was rolling at the end. I just don't know why he was so far back. And then he had to split horses, so he didn't get a clean run. But watch out for that one next time.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, someone's sorry, Raven. It's at the bottom. I got a little too excited, man. I'm yelling into the mic. I apologize, everyone at home. We're just excited. We all got excited. Sorry about that, Raven. I'll make sure not too loud there. Kyle Roscoe, who's making our bets for us, is going to tell us what that try paid when it comes up. Kyle, that's what I was wondering. So this trifecta is going to be real nice. We're going to have it for $2. I'm going to apologize to everyone for yelling, but we were very excited there. Paul's pick 5 is on fire. He's going to Cyberknife. So what this does, now listen, for the pick 4s, Matt, let's talk about this now. You singled Goofo. Wait a minute, I'm sorry.
Dude, these are big numbers.
Did you single Goofo? What?
It's
I'm trying to look. So you had Goofo and everything, right? Okay, so
we got a $35 pick 4 rolling.
But that's just with your.
Yeah.
So, but then we've got ours also. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the story. And just to the 6, right? To the 6 we're here.
Yeah.
So Everyone here, the Crazy Pour OTB, you got to listen up now. We are live to massive pick fours because of Matt Miller and because of our picks. We are live to, I'm just looking right now at the board. We have a, are we alive in the other? We are, right? Oh, no, we're not alive on the backup ticket. We're alive to $35 pick fours to Epicenter. So we'll tell you what that's going to be, but we're live to $35 pick fours to Epicenter. We are also alive I believe a $3 pick four to Cyberknife and Artorias. I believe that's where we're at. So again, we are live to a $3 pick four to Cyberknife and the number 5 Artorias. And again, this is just people here at the Crazy Pour OTB. And we're live to a $35 pick four to the number 6 Epicenter. Matt, awesome job with your press up pick fours, sir.
So far, and we'll talk as we get around to the next race around what to do. We'll look at the will pay. You know, we have the benefit of being. Did I just hear 1,500 for the try? Did you just hear that?
It was $388. It was $388 for 50 cents. So yeah, that's about right.
So,
$388.
I got to interrupt everyone, Matt. We hit, ladies and gentlemen, we got a $2 try. Our $2 try for everyone here, the Crazy Pour, who signed up. We have collected $1,503 in that trifecta that we're going to be splitting with everyone. And we haven't even included the pick fours yet. We are absolutely on fire. And I'm yelling again, Matt. I'm yelling again.
Yeah, that's just a good echo. It's fine with me. Echoing a loser would be much worse.
Wow. Let me explain to those of you that are at home. And I'm gonna toot my own horn, Pete. I know this is a bet that we've talked about on the show. This kind of back wheel kind of bet. If you like a price horse, now Gufo was only 4-1. I highly recommend to everyone at home and everyone here at the Crazy Pour OTB. If there is a horse that you like that is somewhere between, let's say, 4-1 to 10-1, it is a great play to key that horse on top in a try and back wheel in second and third. Now, Pete, we didn't need the back wheel as it turned out, but I'll tell you what, Pete, if Miramichi had won, we would have collected more than 1,500.
Oh yeah, that would have been beautiful. I mean, that's what you want. You want, especially if you have a 4-1 shot, you have to put some of those bombs on top and then hope you can get lucky and catch one, and that would have been perfect here. So,
absolutely, Pete. Any final thoughts on your impressions of the race? I'll tell you what, Pete. I was like, here we go again.
I mean, he usually doesn't
want to go a mile and a half. Clearly,
he usually doesn't do it at a mile and a half.
And shout out to Miramichi and the connections of Ian Wilkes. I thought Leperoux gave a perfect ride. He just couldn't see out the distance. But shout out to Ian Wilkes and Julian Leperoux, and also shout out to Soldiers Rising. Pete, that horse was last. Like in the back,
he got the worst trip.
This horse wins. He's a superstar. He ran huge.
Yeah, he got the worst trip of them all. So he's definitely one to keep an eye on. Gufo ran great. Miramichi ran great. By the way, I want to give our co-host Paul his due here. Here's his pick 5 that he's live to. 156. So he's live to Cyberknife, Artorias, and Epicenter from the show. So we'll root for him home. Hopefully he actually played it in real life and he's real life live to it. That would be a plus. But which that happens on the show a lot, where we put the picks on the show and then don't play it in real life sometimes. So good luck to him. But yeah, no, it was a great race. I'm glad you guys hit. I'll be rooting for you to cash this next big one, hopefully. Although I wasn't rooting for Epicenter, but now I have nothing live, so now I'm rooting for you guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, Pete Visco is an excellent handicapper, and I don't have to laud his praises. Anyone that watches the show knows, but listen, sometimes that's just
it was
the way
that
it goes.
nose.
Pete,
it was that nose in the first leg, Howard. That bob of the head with the 4 and the 1. If the 1 wins,
now you can just cheer us on.
Yes.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to reset ourselves. I got to take my high blood pressure medication because I am so excited for everyone here. You have no idea. We're going to take a short break. We have plenty of time for the Travers, man. We got a lot of time to talk about. This guy over here is giving me crap because I'm overly excited. That's Matt. This is what horse racing about, right? I know. So
we're having a great time.
Absolutely. So we're gonna take a short break. Pete, I'm gonna let you go here. We'll have you back in a little bit. we're going to take another short break. We're going to reset ourselves here on the HHH Racing Podcast. We just absolutely crushed the Sword Dancer live. I hope you crush it too. We'll be back in a few minutes as I'm just setting this up here on the screen. Give me a second here. We'll be back in a few minutes to start our Travers conversation. Again, live, episode 171 of the HHH Racing Podcast from the Crazy Pour OTB in Villa Park, Illinois. Thanks, a shout out to Hawthorne Racecourse and Adelphi Racing Club for our sponsors. We'll be back in just a bit. Thank you very much.
Adelphi Racing Club, offering a truly personal racing experience. Looking to own thoroughbred racehorses and win at the highest level circuits? We're not just a syndicate, and our members aren't just investors. We are partners. Experience the Adelphi difference. Join the club today. Contact us to get a taste of the Adelphi experience and come hang with us this Saratoga meet.
We are back at the Crazy Pour. Oh, hold on, sound.
We are back at the Crazy Pour OTB with BC champ Matt Miller and yours truly Howard Kravitz. We are going to bring on Paul Halloran. I see you in the background, Paul. If you can hear me, give me about 2 minutes, Paul. We got to pull some names, but one of our co-hosts is actually live in Saratoga right now, but we need to pull some names real quickly, Paul. So if you can hang on, Paul, for about 2 minutes. Or, Paul, if you want to come back in about 3 minutes, that'd be great. Paul, if you can hear me. Again, Paul Halloran, we got to wait a few more minutes before we can bring you on. So you can either hang tight, Paul Halloran, or you can link back on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for everyone that can hear me, we are going to pick our raffle winners. Again, the first two people will get a free $50 win bet on the Travers. The first person to win a $50 win bet on the Travers is Lisa Schmutz. Lisa Schmutz of Lisle, Illinois. I believe I pronounced that correctly. Or it could be Schmitz. I think it's actually looks like Schmutz to me, it looks like.
Yep.
We'll get a $50 win bet on the Travers. And Kyle Roscoe, what I need you to do is when our winners come in, they're going to tell you who they want to bet on, and you will actually hold on to the voucher for them. So we have Lisa Schmutz. It's a $50 free win bet. The other person that gets a free $50 win bet and the Travers. Any drum rolls out there? No drum rolls. Okay. Is going to be, let's see who we've got here. It looks like John, is that Flore?
Floro?
John Floro or John Flore from Bloomington, Illinois. John Flore or John Floro from Bloomington, Illinois also gets a $50 win bet. Congratulations to you two. Now, we're not quite done yet. The next two people, and you do not have to come up here. I will contact you by email, but the next two people will get 2 months of free subscription to our fantastic race day blog. Matt, it's a $35 value. You and I both know. How much would that be worth in real dollars?
In real dollars, to me, that's well into the thousands.
All right. Let's see who gets that. Free 2 month. It's going to be, let's see here, Jim Pomeray. Jim Pomeray from Carroll Stream, Illinois will get a free 2 month subscription to the Race Day blog. And the last person, Jose, looks like maybe I don't know. Jose Orteh from Romeoville, Illinois. Jose, we'll need his email as well. We'll need an email
He might be right here
for Jose. There's no email address on here. And Jim, is this Jose? Jose, congratulations, man. We need you to write your email on here so I can send you some stuff. Can you do that for us? All right. So, Matt, we're having a lot of fun. We're just giving away the cash here today, Matt.
We got 12 minutes to go to the Travers. We're giving away money. We're live to Epicenter on some pretty big pick fours. I think we got to figure out what that will pay is going to look like, but we got to figure out what we're going to bet here.
All right. So Kyle Roscoe, do you have the how much we're live to at the board there? You're putting it up? You don't have it up yet, right? Okay, so it's bringing the Brinks truck, everyone. Hawthorne Racecourse, to ready to throw some cash in this room. We're live to big pick fours. All right, Matt, let's get down to business. We got 11 minutes. We got 11 minutes to the Travers Stakes. It's the Midsummer Derby. I'm going to tune it down a notch. It's the Midsummer Derby. It's restricted for 3-year-olds. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the PPs. The story, of course, is Epicenter. Even money right now. Second choice as of right now is the number 1, Cyberknife. And I'm salivating again, Matt. We've had a good day here. I've been, on and off some of my picks, but overall, we've had a great day. The horse that I like the most in this race, and I don't even think he's a long shot. I legitimately love this horse's chances in the Travers. The number 5, Artorias. Matt, he is 9-1, about the same price of a horse I liked in race 3 today.
I'm not going to really disagree with your pick, but if I'm being honest, my play from here is really a function of what we're alive to on Epicenter. So we have the good fortune of being alive to a 1-to-1 shot. We don't need to somehow try to cover off that horse with our betting in this race. We're alive to the big money without having to bet a lot of big dollars. And so I don't see how you can avoid the will pay on Epicenter. I don't see how you can avoid looking at that in determining what else to do. And given the disparity in dollars that we're going to be getting back, Epicenter, relative to your opinion on that 5 horse, in my view, I think we should be taking some of the money we made in that trifecta. And despite it sounding risky, I'd be putting some money to win on Artorias, and I'm going to ask for a little less consideration. I have a long shot that I like as well, but I'd say, let's cover ourselves a little bit here, whether you want to go exactas or win bets, but, we're alive to some decent money here. If I'm looking up at that board correctly, that looks like $4,700 for that pick 4.
So for everyone in the room and anyone that can hear me at the Crazy Pour OTB, we have Kyle Roscoe, one of our great assistants, is putting up what we're alive to. If the 6 wins this race, Epicenter, the big favorite, even money, the pool party will collect $4,690. If the number 1 Cyberknife wins, we will collect $904.50. And if the 5 Artorias, my personal top choice, wins, we will collect $1,626, all in pick 4 money. So good luck to all of us here in the room. Kyle Roscoe, we're going to need you over here in just a minute to put in our vertical bets for this race. We're actually going to go to a quick commercial break to get that done. I have on the screen Artorias and Epicenter, Matt. Epicenter is very good. He's been running consistent 102 buyers. He's the worthy favorite, but he's very workmanlike and hasn't really blown people away, although his win last time was quite impressive.
Yeah, I got to say, he has blown me away. Those buyer figures are fantastic. The fact that, I do think we are obsessed with wins, rightfully so, but the reality is the races that aren't wins are spectacular races still. And so I feel an extreme level of confidence that absent something unusual happening, like with Clairiere, this horse is going to be there. And I don't have that same level of confidence with respect to anybody else. I certainly understand the arguments for others, and I'm very willing to entertain them now that we're alive to big money on a 4 to 5 shot. And so I love looking at Artorias, a horse clearly on the upswing. This horse to me feels like it's a step behind on the calendar, a step behind Cyberknife, but essentially following the same path with just continuous improvement, race after race after race. And you are right. If this horse steps up one more time, just like it's been doing before, he could be right there. So in a strange way, I'm validating Pete with Cyberknife, or Paul. I think it's Paul with Cyberknife. The continuous improvement, race after race. You've got the same thing with Artorias, just with a few less examples. I'd be pressing up on those. The long shot that I like here, and then I'll be quiet, I think people are looking past Zandon, and I think that's a mistake. At 6-1, you're getting value. You get Flavian Pratt to boot. You've got 100 buyer in that last race, and the question I have about the last race is, what if the horse wasn't fully cranked up for that? What if that wasn't the full effort? You know, maybe they wanted to get some air into the horse's lungs or whatever. The horse ran 100 buyer. And if the horse has any room for improvement here, he is right there with Epicenter or the best of them. And at 6-1, I feel pretty good about some side money on that one.
There's also early voting, who I just saw on the screen, and Andy Serling, who I have mad respect for, likes early voting. Who 2 starts back, Matt, ran the fastest race of anyone in this field with a 105. Was not very good last time. Now he's got to go longer. Could be controlling speed. We don't know how it's going to work out. Let me go ahead and, as I'm just going to scroll through the field, Pete Biscoe will get you on here in just a second. Yeah, Gilded Age, 8 Life Grand, big long shots. There's Rich Strike, 8-1. It's just, oh man, I'll tell you what, that's the craziest. That's just unbelievable that this horse is 8-1. It's just a ridiculous underlay, Matt. He should be, in my opinion, 15 to 20 to 1 here. It's unbelievable.
Look, for the reality is, I don't want to criticize too hard the people who are betting that, because the people who are betting that are the ones that are paying the rest of us. So it wouldn't be my pick, but everyone's entitled to their opinion, and good luck if that one's yours. I'll take a pass on that one.
Pete, any thoughts on Rich Strike? The same odds basically as early voting.
I was hoping for higher, because the side bet that I have with one of our other viewers that I made on Twitter was that he would lose by more than his odds, and I was hoping they were a little higher. So I picked Rich. I was rooting, Matt. I was rooting for Rich Strike just for the chaos, because that poor horse takes so much hate for his win. He did nothing wrong except win a race and just take a lot of money out of people's pockets, I think. So everyone hates him. So I was hoping for him to win just for the chaos, especially if it's not going to cost me any money. So I just think those odds are crazy, though. There's no way he shouldn't be less than 15 in this field. This is a pretty deep field. I mean, I don't like early voting, so I mean, I think I could see him floating up a bit, and I don't mind that, but he shouldn't be the same as Rich Strike. No.
So we're going to take literally a 1-minute break, because Matt and I need to make something. So Matt, the question is, do we hedge? We're live to Major Money. We're going to let everyone know. We're going to come back, Pete. I hate to do this to you, but we got to make some bets here. We're going to be back, I would say, in about maybe 1.5, about 90 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I apologize for this, but we'll be back in about 90 seconds. We have to make a bet here at the podcast, at the pool party here at the OTB, and then we'll be back. It says 3 minutes right now, Pete, but they're also still in the paddock, so
yeah, they'll take some time.
Later than that. Actually, this race is supposed to go off at 5:48, so it's really more like 8 to 10 minutes. I don't know why it says 3 minutes to post up there. So anyway, we're going to be back. Everyone, PM, and take you off screen. We'll be right back. We're going to be back, everyone, in just about a 90 seconds or so, up to 2 minutes, with more coverage of the Travers Stakes right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. Do you want to back up?
I don't think we need to hit cyber.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and bring on Pete Briscoe. We might have Paul Halloran coming on from Saratoga as well. So everyone here at the Crazy Pour, here's we still have more bets that we're making in this race. So for everyone that is here at the Crazy Pour OTB, we are putting $100 to win. It's going to be listed on the board, everyone. But in just a moment, we're putting $100 to win on Notorious, the 5-horse. And we are playing $40 exactas. $40 exactas, 1, 5, 7, 8 with 6. So in case Epicenter gets second, if the 7 and 8 sort of upset the field, who we don't have, we can still cash. If the 7 or 8 wins and Epicenter gets second, we can still get a nice exacta. It's sort of our backup. So again, we're going 100 to win on the 5, and we're going 1, 5, 7, 8 with 6. $40 exactas. That's our vertical plays, Matt. I like it. So the 7, 8 win, we still have a chance to cash in this last race. And the bottom line is everyone here is going to be a winner because of that trifecta. Everyone here is definitely going to walk away with some nice cash.
Absolutely. And I don't want to understate that you're alive to $900-something with Cyberknife, $1,600-something with the 5-horse. So we are spread around a little bit, and we've got the most money where we think the most likely winner is. And to the extent there was a mismatch, we've adjusted for that with our in-race bets. So yeah, I feel pretty good. And if your 5 ends up winning, okay, it won't be the most we could have made on the race. It'll be that would have been the 6, but we'll still have done pretty well. So yeah, especially for a short field, I'm feeling pretty well covered here.
Pete, I'm not going to bring up the PPs just because I'm not sure of the time, and we've been giving out we're live to a lot of things. By the way, people that are involved in the gold and silver plays in my podcast pool, that is not the pool party here at the OTB, but they're alive also to pick. Listen, we're live to a lot of things. We really need 1, 5, or 6, Pete. So cheer us home because I don't think you're alive to anything, as you said. Your thoughts on Cyberknife, Pete? We haven't talked about Cyberknife yet. He's in raging form. Brad Cox does a great job with his horses. Won the Haskell last time. I personally think Table was best in that race, but Cyberknife ran well. Where does Cyberknife fit with the upper echelon 3-year-olds running in this race today?
I mean, I think he fits right in with them. I think Matt was talking about this a little earlier, I think with Artorias, and I might have mentioned Cyberknife, I might have missed it, but he's on the upswing and he's already reached the point where he's about even in terms of his top race with Epicenter. And Epicenter, we talked about on Thursday, maybe he's plateaued. Now, we said his plateau is fantastic and it's great. And every horse would want to be on that plateau, but there may be a couple of horses in here who are still on the upswing and can actually surpass that. And if that happens, then they can get the jump. And I think Cyberknife is one, and I think Artorias is the other. So those are the two that I'm looking. Can they jump up and actually surpass Epicenter, or is Epicenter's best just better than everybody else's?
I have a dear friend who convinced me before the Breeders' Cup Classic a few years ago, the same argument on Gun Runner, and talking about just the consistency and how the arguments for the other horses were all dependent on something else happening. Obviously, you saw what happened with that. And yeah, I mean, this feels kind of similar. We're just being consistently outstanding. You know, the fact that he doesn't have the most upside potential from here, I don't think disqualifies him.
Well, this happened last year too, didn't it, Matt? Going in, I mean, what the heck's his name? I completely blanking on who the best 3-year-old was last year. Exclusive Quality, where
right.
he was sort of one who's like, go ahead.
Yeah, Katie mentioned Rich Strike in the post where we've been very busy. Did you notice anything?
I didn't have the video.
Anyway. I don't know if you noticed anything at all, Pete.
No, I didn't have the video. Okay. My video was paused.
Maybe he was selling some roses that were like just off the side of the track.
Well, he's just ready to run. He doesn't do post parades. He just wants to run. He's not.
So Pete, actually, let me address this to Matt so people here, the room could hear exactly. Pete, I'll let you bounce this idea just a second. Supposedly, early voting is better with a target. That's sort of what Chad Brown is saying. I talked about this on my race day blog. I would not be shocked if Artorias is sent hard, i.e. Arrogant from 2016, gives early voting that target, and perhaps Chad feels even better about those two. Matt, do you think that's a possibility here?
It is a possibility. I do think that some of those trainer games tend to go away a little bit when you get to these big grade ones. everyone wants to win. Different owner groups, they're all doing the best they can to win. And so I do think each of these horses is going to put forth the best effort they can put forth. And if they think sending Artorias is the right answer, that's fine. If that happens to benefit one of Chad's other runners, that's fine. But I don't think they would send Artorias to its own detriment. So if they do that, I think they believe that's the right move.
All right, so guys, they're circling behind the gate. We don't have much time. Matt, your final pick for the Travers is?
I'm going to stick with Epicenter, but I'm spooked by Zandon.
Pete, who are you going with?
I'm going to stick with Artorias, and I like a little bit of Cyberknife. But
And I am
Artorias on
going
top.
with Artorias. Pete, we're going to take you off screen. Pete, we'll bring you back after the race for a minute or two. Is that all right? All right.
Yeah, sure. I'm
Pete,
here.
thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Matt, we've got a lot riding on this race. Everyone in the room, I'm very excited. I'm going to pull my mic a little bit further away, Matt, because I don't want, hopefully this will be better. I'm not going to try not to yell too much here. We've got thousands of dollars on the line, literally $1,000 on the line for people that are here at the pool party at the Crazy Pour OTB in Villa Park. We have thousands of dollars on the line for people at home who are part of my podcast pool in the silver and gold. Matt, we basically need 1, 5, 6. Selfishly, for everyone here, 6 would be best for sure. I think for some people at home, 1 or 5 would be better. I personally need the 5. Matt, we're all very excited. Again, the TV that we're watching is maybe a good sort of distance away, so it's going to be a little bit tricky. So we'll be doing more commentating that rather than calling the race per se. But everything was very exciting. We got where we want to be, Matt. I'll say that, right? You're a contest guy. When you get to the last race and you're alive for big money, that's all you can do, and let the racing guys just play it out, right?
We're in a terrific spot. We're alive to some decent money with some decent horses, and we're alive to some real money, real decent money with, a nice post-time favorite.
They're almost all in the gate for the 153rd Travers at Saratoga. And they're out of the gate. Artorias is showing speed. Epicenter is also showing some speed. Early voting is not at the lead yet. It does not look like early voting is going to get the lead. The number 1 has the lead. It looks like that is Cyberknife with 8 Life Grand, a big bomb on the outside. Cyberknife's a little bit wide on the first turn. Again, it's hard for me to see. It looks like Epicenter Matt is on the inside. Comfortably, and Artorias is in a good spot also, a good path.
Agreed. I think that might have been early voting a little wide. I think Epicenter's on the inside now.
So we got Cyberknife on the lead. First quarter, I'm not sure. Kyle Roscoe will try to give us our first quarter times. I think I see 23 and 1. That's moving. 8 Life Grand really making Cyberknife work. I'm not sure if you like Cyberknife, that's good. Epicenter in a great spot. Early voting also in a nice spot. Artorias in a good spot. All big hunters are in good spots right
now. They're all in their spots.
The half is in 47 and 3. Honest, not blazing, but certainly honest. Cyberknife still on the lead. Epicenter is comfortable as he can be. You've got 3 wide early voting, it looks like. Artorias, hard for me to tell. I apologize. Looks like he might be picking up. Cyberknife is now shaking clear. Here comes Epicenter. Here comes Epicenter on the outside up to Cyberknife. It looks like it's most likely to be these two. I believe it's Artorias swinging wide to the outside. Epicenter on the outside. Cyberknife on the inside. It's going to be these two. Cyberknife looks like he's taking the lead. It's Epicenter. Epicenter takes the lead. Epicenter is going to win the 153rd Travers Stakes. Cyberknife second. Rich Strike gets third. Everyone here at the Crazy Pour OTB, $4,690. Woo! Wow. Epicenter was absolutely awesome. I believe it's 4-6-1-2. 6-1-2 is the Epicenter at even money. Cyberknife, I believe, second 9-2. Rich Strike comes in third. Artorias sort of flattened out. Didn't run a bad race, but I have to admit he was disappointing selfishly. But really, I'm very happy for people that had Epicenter. That's obviously going to pay the lowest amount for the pick fives. I'm trying to see where Artorias finished here. It doesn't look like Matt. He finished in the top 4. No, he didn't finish in the top 4. Was he 5th here? Yeah, he was. He just didn't kick. Artorias didn't kick on. Cyberknife, Epicenter. My apologies. Epicenter, Matt, a perfect ride, a great trip, wins for fun. The final time, it looks like 2:02. I believe it's 2:00. Kyle Roscoe will clarify the final time. I believe it's 2:02.3, if I can see that clearly. It's been a very slow track. 2:02 flat, excuse me. It's been a very tiring track all meet long. Matt, Epicenter won for fun. He's clearly the best 3-year-old before the race. He's clearly the best 3-year-old after the race, if there's any doubt at all. Congratulations to Steve Asmussen and Joel Rosario. What a horse.
Horse totally showed up. It looked absolutely fantastic. And, you know, we'll have to see about where they go from here and what's next. But clearly, you know, I was awfully impressed by Cyberknife. I wasn't expecting that ride. And he held in pretty gamely. But, yeah, I mean, there was no question who was best there.
Well, Cyberknife ran very well. Ain't Life Grand did Cyberknife no favors, Matt, whatsoever. Yeah. I mean, I was shocked. Ain't Life Grand, by the way, had like a 45-4, some crazy breeze. You can look it up in the program. But I know Ain't Life Grand, the 3 had a very fast breeze recently.
Yeah, 45-4.
What was it?
45-4.
45-4, which is ridiculous breeze. But I don't know if it would have mattered because Epicenter has tactical speed. It opened up perfectly. I mean, it was the best ride he could possibly got. Where do you put Epicenter in terms of Breeders' Cup Classic possibilities? It's not easy to say. You've got absolute monsters. Let me bring Pete Visco on here. Pete, we're going to bring on here. Didn't mean to give you short shrift. I'm going to ask Matt this question first, and Pete, you can expound also. And by the way, those of you that are here at the Crazy Pour, our show does not end for another half an hour. We are going to be talking about race 12. And I'll have to talk to Jeff and Ron in terms of money distribution. I don't think we're not going to be making any more bets, I don't believe. So if Jeff and Rhonda can hear us, we're not going to be making any more bets. So they're going to work out how we're going to get the money to everyone. But we are going to be going on for another 25 minutes or so, man. I don't think we're not going to show race 12. We'll talk for a little bit here. Sure. Sorry, Peter, just doing a little administrative work. What we're going to do. So Jeff and Rhonda, what we'll do is once you're ready to distribute the money, let me know, and I will take a commercial break. So I want to thank everyone for coming, and then we'll go back on air. Does that sound like a possibility? We'll try to work that out because, Kyle, I want to thank people as they leave. So what we'll do, folks at home, is at some point we'll take about a 2-minute break. We'll thank people as they leave the Crazy Pour OTB, and then we'll come back on if that works out for you guys. We're not quite ready yet, but Kyle, when we have a final total of what we won here, again, we had $1,000 to bet here at the Crazy Pour OTB. Matt, I gotta give a shout out to you. Listen, Matt Miller absolutely freaking crushed. A lot of this money was out of his own fruition. Matt just decided to do some extra stuff on the side. Now, some other bets won for us. The personal pick fours that I played actually didn't work out. We played small ones. We did everything together. I shouldn't say they were my pick fours. We worked on everything together. For sure. Really, the bigger ones definitely were Matt. I want to give him full credit for that. The Goofo bets were mainly mine. Matt, that's fair to say, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So, Pete, Epicenter. You still got monsters in Flightline and Life is Good. We don't know what's going to happen in the Classic. Can you see a scenario where Epicenter can continue to step up his game and be a factor in the Classic? He's got tactical speed. He's in great form. he runs his damn race every single time.
Yeah, I mean, this is the race that you wanted to see. We talked about it, saying, did he plateau? And obviously, it doesn't look like he did. He potentially is on the upswing now because that last race was dominant. This race was dominant. So he's clearly surpassed his class. So now it's, can I go get the older ones? And it's just tough. I mean, normally I would like him better than most of the older ones, but Flightline, we have to see what Flightline does next week. But Flightline looks so good. Life is Good looks great. Congrats, guys, by the way. I didn't say that yet. Nice work, Matt. Nice work, everybody. But yeah, I think he's a player now. He's probably the third. I'm trying to think who's better than him aside from potentially Flightline as Life is Good right now. I don't think anybody.
I want to apologize to everyone at home. Again, the TV is very far away from me, guys. It was actually Zandon got third, Matt.
Yep.
Zandon got third.
Yep.
I got to apologize to everyone at home. It was a very close photo. It was hard for us to tell. But again, it was Epicenter over Cyberknife over Zandon. Your top choice. Ran a credible third, but really everyone is running for second. Matt, Epicenter, you and I are both going to the Breeders' Cup. Again, we have over 2 months. How good do you feel about Epicenter's chances in, let's say, the Breeders' Cup Classic, assuming that Flightline and or Life is Good is in the race?
I will not be playing Epicenter in the Classic if those other two horses are in the race. My play will be, look, my heart is with Life is Good. That horse has come through for me so hardcore, I think maybe 3 times before. And so the question obviously on that one is going to be the distance. I'm not one to question trainers or whatnot. I have no doubt that horse will be ready to go. Flightline looks like a monster. And so for Breeders' Cup purposes and tournament purposes, it's kind of a typical lawyer answer, I guess. It's really going to depend. It depends on the odds. It depends, if you're looking at 1 to 2 on Flightline or something stupid like that, there's no chance I'm doing that. But if you can get 2 to 1 on Flightline, and if your balance in the tournament's decent enough that you can do something with 2 to 1, yeah, Life is Good or Flightline for me. I don't think it's Epicenter at this point.
It's a little too far out, don't you think, Matt? Just because we still need to see Flightline go longer. We need Life is Good has enough question marks. Flightline, we have to make him actually make the race. And somebody asked about his feet. He's just been problematic. He's had some issues. And then, Epicenter, if he keeps improving, he might be closer to them than we think by the time we get. I mean, I assume Epicenter will run one more time before the Classic. That would be my guess. And if he looks that great again, then who the heck knows? I mean, he was awesome.
Yeah, my gut tells me we're not going to see all 3 of them. I don't have a reason for saying that, but it seems.
I hope we do, though. I hope. I mean, we as fans, we hope we do.
It would be great. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm doing a little math here, guys, for people involved in the gold and silver pools. If Mirror Mission had got home, Matt, I know it's if and buts, candy nuts, whatever. If Mirror Mission had gotten home, this would have been an all-timer day for the podcast, for anyone. We've had a great day anyway. There's been a lot of chalks. It's hard to win a lot of money when chalks win. You can win money, but it's hard to win a lot of money. If Mirror Mission got home, Matt, I mean, I can't even imagine.
We had a $10 pick 4. That would have been crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Pete, let's all talk about a few others in this race before we end your time and end the show. I'll just get one more comment, Pete, and then we'll let you go. Any comment on anyone else? Cyberknife ran perfectly fine. 8 Life Grand put a lot of pressure on him. Artorias was, I'll have to watch the replay, made a little bit of a middle move. I have to say it was disappointing for me personally, flat out. Just too much too soon. Zandon, sort of an okay third. Any thoughts on any others?
No, I agree with you there. I don't like Zandon that much. I think Zandon is what he is. I think he's a hit the board type at this distance. I don't think he's going to win any of these races at this distance. I didn't like the ride on Cyberknife. I didn't necessarily like him on the lead, especially taking pressure. I didn't like Early Voting's ride because I don't agree with what they said about him chasing. In the Preakness, he chased garbage. When you chase garbage, you can pass them pretty easily, right, Matt? I mean, I just didn't think, it's a lot different chasing good horses than it is chasing that horse. I can't remember his name, but the horse who was on the lead in the Preakness. And then Artorias was definitely disappointing. Yeah, he's just not as good. Somebody made a comment that he ran much slower on that day. I agree with that. You sort of project with a horse like that, and you could be wrong when you're making these projections. And then for my man, Rich Strike, by the way, anybody who said he was disappointing, he ran as good a race as half these. I mean, he ran his race. He's just not as good, but he's not a bum.
He's not a bum.
He ran a decent race. He almost got third in the Grade $1 million Travers. So leave the horse alone. And
he's just not going to win. But he's not a bad horse. He's just not quite at the caliber of the way we think of the Kentucky Derby.
Exactly. So it's a stigma on a horse that doesn't necessarily deserve it. But I think it's all about epicenter. I think everyone. I don't think any of these horses. What do you think, Matt? In terms of classic and going forward, I don't think any of these other horses will really be a factor necessarily. I think it's really just epicenter at this point.
Yeah, I agree. There was a chance that Zandon could have shown something today that would have made him enter the equation. I didn't see anything to that effect.
I think he's
certainly.
A cutback. I think he's just a little better going a little bit shorter. Yeah. I'm not sure where that puts him. Maybe he's like a dirt mile kind of, maybe that should be his goal if he wants to try and be competitive in the Breeders' Cup.
Agreed.
All right, I want to make an announcement. This is for everyone involved here with the Crazy Pour OTB. We collected today, those you involved in the pool party, we collected a total of $5,920.25 at the Crazy Pour OTB. And what that means, and I'm a full-time math teacher by trade, so I know this is correct. Every single person involved in the pool party, and I'm not sure how the money is going to be distributed. We'll talk to Rhonda. Rhonda will be taking care of that momentarily. Before you folks leave, I'd love to be able to shake people's hand as you leave. Everyone here that's involved in the pool party will walk home with $151.80. Congratulations. $151.80. $151.80, or if they round up to $152, I'm not sure. Just being a part of the podcast pool or the pool party, they paid $35 to join us, Matt. They got some great appetizers. I hope they were good. I haven't even eaten. They got great appetizers, Matt. They listened to hopefully some good advice, and they walked away with a profit, every single person, of over $115. Matt, we're going to pound it out virtually here.
Absolutely.
Very cool, buddy.
Yeah, look, someone back there, I think I said we're going to Gibson's tonight. I think with $151 a person, you can go do that now. So good stuff.
Folks, if those of you that are here, if you enjoyed this podcast, again, hopefully you got, there's business cards that are still here. We'd love you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'd love you to subscribe to, again, the Race Day blog. Let me go to the Race Day blog. Pete, actually, we're going to let you go. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you're still on here. Pete, any final thoughts? We'll let you go for today.
No, good work, guys. You could just PayPal me my money, and when you're ready, you just send it over.
We'll get it to you. Pete Bisco, awesome job. If you talk to Paul Haller in the next hour or two, tell him, sorry, I know you tried to get on for a minute or two, but tell him thanks for trying to come
Hopefully
on.
You hit that
Have a great day, Pete. Say hi to the dogs for us.
Great talking to you, Pete.
All righty. Again, it's the podcast, the Race Day blog, guys. The Race Day blog is a great thing. If you want to subscribe to this, again, it helped a lot of people get winners. Wait till September 1st. Wait till September 1st because it's going to reorder again. Those people that are here at the Crazy Pour, on the back of the business card, there is a QR code that'll take you right to the Race Day blog where you can subscribe to it. We're going to be wrapping up the show very shortly here, Matt. I've had a great day, man. It's been unbelievable. I'm actually hoarse.
Oh, this has been great energy.
I'm chuckling based on my enthusiasm today. Matt, great thanks. Unbelievable pick format you gave out for people here. I had some nice scores, including an awesome try with Gufo. Any final thoughts on Travers Day here from the Crazy Pour OTB?
No, I'd say this is just how it goes every year. Go 4 for 4, 5 for 5. We'll come back and do it again. This is just typical stuff, right?
I don't know about that.
This was obviously super fun. Great time doing this with you. And yeah, obviously they don't always go this way, but it's nice when the horses on the track make you look like you know what you're talking about.
Well, listen, we really appreciate it. We had a great viewership today on YouTube. We had a great number of people here at Crazy Pour. I'm thinking, and I'll have to talk to the powers that be, I'm thinking this won't be our last live podcast here through Hawthorne. And by the way, again, Hawthorne's got a great contest coming up September 30th And October 1st, it's a $500 bankroll. Shout out, everyone, let's give a shout out to Hawthorne and all the great waitresses and everyone who helped us out here today. The Crazy Pour, awesome job. Thank you to Rhonda. Thank you to Greg. Thank you to Dakota, everyone that was part of the spectacular day here at the Crazy Pour OTB. Our next show, next Thursday, everyone, next Thursday night, I'm not sure the time yet. We're going to have a special show on YouTube. It's a preview of Pacific Classic Day. It's going to be a great day of races, Matt, with Flightline. So check us out next Thursday night. Please subscribe to the channel. Again, for Kyle Roscoe, for Pete Visco, for my other co-host Paul Halloran, who didn't have a chance to get on today, especially for my good friend Matt Miller right next to me here, who crushed that pick 4. And for yours truly, Howard Kravitz, this has been episode 171 of the HHH Racing Podcast. Thank you, all of you who came to Crazy Pour. We look forward. Hawthorne, give us a call. We're right next week for another podcast pool. Just give us a call. Join us next Thursday night here on the HHH Racing Podcast. We wish everyone to have a great evening. Thank you very much. Take care, everyone. Good night.